Boom. Then we're going to hit this guy.
Oh, you're
Watch
doing
this.
so many things. I don't get any of it.
Boom. And then I'm going to say Clarissa in the house. Hey, hey.
Hey.
Yes. Okay. So I've been doing this a lot more and more with people. Okay. When I meet them for the first time, I love to come up with like how I feel about them and like their name to me. When I think about you, so when we met the other day, first of all, hold on, Clarissa, a mother, a wife, and runs this beautiful business that helps exchange students find homes. So we're going to get all into that.
Super.
And if you know who this woman is, then enjoy the show. If you don't, you're going to even love it more because I met you for the first time. Was it Monday?
Tuesday.
Yeah. And shout out to Jay Shear.
Yay, Jay.
This alien of a man of greatness. And an alien's a compliment, meaning this man just arrived from a UFO and has been so he says, you got to meet Clarissa. I'm all excited because that was like a month ago.
I think it was longer.
The anticipation has been incredible.
Yes.
So I hear you got to meet this woman. She's incredible. And that's all I need to hear from Jay. There's no like, I don't even ask him why. Right. I just know.
Yeah.
So boom, you come over Tuesday and you were hungry, remember?
I'm always hungry.
And I've been telling people this. My house has become this love station of like, I'd rather just meet here than go out. And then we've got to do the chitty chats with a lot of, we want to talk.
Yes.
So you came over and you're like, I thought we were going out somewhere. And I said,
because I didn't eat.
And my wife made you a Sam Bam.
Oh my God. It was the best.
And I say this out of love. Like we fell in love. It was amazing. And my opinion of you so far is like, I don't know why, but you have a big heart. Yeah.
Aw.
Is that fair?
I think so.
And I sincerely don't know why yet, but my little soul is telling me, even today when I use the little emoji, I was like, you got a big heart. So we're gonna dive right into it, and we're gonna get there. So here's the story and we're gonna pick up where we had left off. And for those that don't know, your husband's been in the hood since he graduated FPC in the 80s.
89.
God bless.
Yes.
So his name was Chase. What was his last name?
No, Chase last name. Steve Chase.
Oh, Steve Chase. I bet you went by Chase because it's a cool last name.
We both do.
See?
In the right setting.
Boom.
Yes.
So those that know her husband, he lived on 3rd Street South growing up. So he must know, he's an old Flagler soul. He knows the hood.
Yeah.
And then you come on the block from New York.
Set up on a blind date.
Can we take it from there for those that don't? Do a lot of people know the story?
Some.
Can we talk about it?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Nothing to hide.
Let's hit it. You come on a blind date. Give me a timestamp.
So I moved here in 2003
Okay.
from New York, done with the weather. Friend recommended me coming down. My grandfather was here from Brooklyn. My uncle was here from Brooklyn. My brother moved down in the mid to late 90s. So I said, yeah. That time in my life, I was ready for a change. I wanted the warm weather. My brother was here, my grandfather, my uncle. So I came down, and it was crazy because I think my parents were at that time ready to do the snowbird thing.
So they were coming probably with or without you.
Yes. Yeah. They had a business and they were finishing that up. So I moved down and had to find a job, and I ended up.
Kind of a little, not too close. This is perfect.
I ended up getting a job at the Veteran Affairs in Daytona Beach.
Okay.
I'm a Air Force veteran, so that I can't believe it took me that long to get into the VA and not doing it in New York.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. And a nurse there, Carol, came up to me and said she has this great guy for me.
And this is Chase.
This was, yeah.
Here he is.
I was seeing somebody just for a short while at that time. And I said, well, this is funny, if you're going to set us up, let's do it quick. Cause I just met somebody.
I got decisions to make here.
Yeah. So I remember it was Christmas Eve and I was with my girlfriend and her family in Ormond. And I got the phone call and she was with him, with the family, because his uncle from the hood married Carol's sister.
Okay.
So that's the family thing.
I see.
So she set us up. And basically we met at Olive Garden when it was on
Daytona's
on
Olive Garden.
ISB. Yep.
Yep. That was a date central spot.
You know what?
That's where we had it. Where else were we going to go?
Yeah, he was off. I went after work, and it was funny because we just had this connection.
It worked.
And he even told me, like, I was having a glass of wine, and I told him on the phone, you'll like this, that I only had 45 minutes to give him because I was in the middle of painting my house. And on a blind date, you don't meet for a meal.
Right.
Because what if there's not a connection? So you have to make it short and feel the connection. 3 hours later, I don't know how many glasses of wine later, he told me that I got up to go use the restroom and I kissed him on the head.
And he knew right then and there.
And we just went back to my house and got some blankets, went down to the beach. And yeah, I just knew in a month. In a month, I knew.
See, what I love about that story is that, that's the whole part of this little show. You never know where we're going to go with it. And it's not just business. And I have no idea what we're doing. So we're having a blast. But for those, companionship is powerful.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful thing. And I don't take it for granted. And there's a lot of people out there that don't got it. And I feel like when you stop looking for it, sometimes it comes.
Right.
You know, but here you are giving it. You said, I got 45 minutes. Let's do this thing.
Besides that, I said to him on that phone call, if you are not looking to get married or have kids in the near future, there's no point in meeting.
But why not
at my age?
Right. There was no time to waste.
Exactly.
But I think it's actually applicable to all age. Like, why not? I think even the younger crowds are starting to. I'm having hope with humanity, becoming educated. Like your social media that you were sharing with me today.
Right.
She's a TikToker.
Now
you're a TikToker.
Not even a week into it. Learning.
But you'll notice that there's a lot of dirt and grime in the world too. But there is an audience out there that's growing, and we're a testament to that. People are starting to want to listen, and they're starting to be attracted to those. The only argument that I ever won with a religious person was, tell me about your God without speaking. And I think it reflects all ways of life, right? Because if there's something about you that's attractive, for instance, that shirt looks good on you, that blue. And I say, where'd you get that blue shirt? There's your segue. You don't got to tell me if I didn't ask.
Right.
I believe that personally. And by consequence of you being happy, then this is where that's it. That's the opportunity to say, well, since you asked, I've been on my face and I looked for it for 18 years and I found this blue shirt, and that's why it looks so good. And then I have that opportunity to go, well, damn, I thought you just got it at a garage sale. And I didn't realize the sacrifice that it took to get there. Now I know. And seed planted, adios, go back to life. Make sense? And I don't know, once again, coming full circle and tangents on this story, this love factor. So then now the daughter, 13 years old now?
No, she will be 12.
12.
You're making her older like everybody else does.
She's 32.
She will be 12, February 12th.
Is that Valentine's Day?
14th is Valentine's Day.
So close.
Yeah, it's close. It's close. She was 3 days overdue.
She's a little Valentine baby.
Yeah, she's a Valentine baby.
So 12. And my heart exploded when you said she's a soccer player.
Yes.
But loves
another connection, you and I.
So that's a whole greatness of amazing. And that's awesome. And I can't wait to see her. She's more than welcome to hit that pitch. So I'm very excited for that. And for those that do, what school is she in? She's
at Hinson, sixth grade.
What's that?
Hinson Middle School.
Is that here?
No, Ormond.
Oh.
Well, Daytona, really.
Not familiar with it.
Yeah.
How is she doing what's it like having a child in 2020 that's 12?
Well, I am very on top of safety and being an advocate for kids that can't stand up for themselves, because she was once bullied as being different. I won't go into detail with that.
Nope.
But she's aware of it. So I say to her, she's strong. So whoever messes with her, watch out.
They don't know her mom too. So
yeah. So, but I basically say to her, besides the safety and keeping your eyes open, all the kids are in their phones. Keep your eyes open, look around.
Was this a digital bully attack or
Nope. No, that
Well,
was not.
Okay.
That was not. Just her being different from the others.
Right. But this was happening at school.
Yes.
I don't need the specifics of what it was, but the way that it was being rendered was in a school environment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did she tell you right away?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. So then the year before she went into middle school, we saw videos of a boy being bullied. And
you saw the video?
It got out
Holy
there.
bananas.
Yep. It got out there, and saw it on the Nextdoor app. It was shared
Wow.
there. So when I saw this, I don't even know the boy, and my blood boiled. And I said to her, if you ever see this,
All right.
your father and I will take care of the consequences. But if there's no teachers around, you make it stop. And it's funny because Steve and I both.
It was physical?
It was physical. They pulled this boy down by his backpack and were beating him up.
Oh, come
2 boys.
on.
And then to find out it happened again later in the day by other kids. So I found out that he was not an American boy.
Was that the catalyst?
I believe so. But I basically said to Olivia, she doesn't appear to be different than others, but she is.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, we want you to stand up for those that cannot. Now that she's older, because the bullying happened years ago, I said, you stand up for them. And you be nice to all kids, no matter what.
Amen.
They may not be your best friend.
Nope.
There's no reason to not be nice to people. So that's what we try to teach her, is being kind to others and helping others.
Boom, Ma. That's some good stuff right there.
And working hard in school, of course.
Well, of course, that's important too.
Yes.
I have a hard time when the youngins will say to me, I want to be like you or something like that. I said, no. You want to be like me. And then I also tell them when they tell me they don't have good grades, I don't really like chastise them for that because I don't have good grades. But I do say all those guys and whoever they are that are picking on you, whatever capacity, they will be your customers one day.
Yep.
I never knew that. That's one thing when you tell that to the average young buck and they're like, damn, I didn't think about that. So whether you're making iPhones or you're running a student exchange program and you don't plan on living too far away, and the world's a small place anyways, those same people will be asking you for a discount on your services. So treat them good now because they will patron you, because you will, if you become, I told this to a guy yesterday, by consequence of me learning through my failures and other people's woebegones, isn't it interesting that we pray, most of us pray for like being the head and not the tail? That's kind of the prayer as it boils down. We want to be in the front. We want to be, isn't it ironic that life is geared to things that are in the front are better? Line leaders, first class.
Right.
Right. So there's this like weird human beings. I don't understand it, but being in the front's better. But isn't it ironic that by being in the front, you get the brunt of everything, right? So I'm talking to this dude yesterday who's so chill, and he's going through some business woebegones, and he asked us to just come over right before soccer, and he plays soccer, which is even more intimate with me. And he's sharing me these woebegones, which is nothing new under the sun for all of us. The same things that the kings were dealing with the dragons in the 1700s is the same thing. Just the issues in the life and the condemnation that we seem to get stuck in. And I thought, so we want to be the head and not the tail, but you know how it's weird when you buy a nice car and you buy remember the bras were going around for a while?
Yes.
You don't see those anymore.
No.
Because they would just buy cars so
right.
fast. But remember, like you would buy a nice car and then you put a bra on it?
Yes.
I wasn't the bra guy. But I thought to myself, don't put a bra on to your car. And don't put a bra on in life. Take it.
Yeah.
You want to be the head? Go. You don't have to be the head. And I'm going to use an example as if you don't want to pioneer something, then do something that somebody else has done. There's nothing wrong with that. Not everyone has to be in the front. Right. But if you do, get ready for bugs in your teeth, punches in your face, ridicule, rain, the whole thing, and enjoy it. And the wear and tear is a testament of who you are. And like, I don't know where it even came from, but the dude was like, yep, that makes a lot of sense. And I don't know, does that make sense to you?
Yeah. So
like here, your daughter is, she's just getting her going. And I hope that she stays in the front.
Yes. She's always been accelerated.
Like here?
Like up in there. Yeah. Not the way I was, because I was just trying to get by. Yeah. And I really just think since she was in my womb, we were educating her from playing music, talking. And we just always educated her. And I think my cousin Greg came down and she was 3 years old and she spelled anthropology or something like that. And he was blown away. And he's a special ed teacher in Jersey. And he says his kids can't even spell that. And he was just blown away by her.
So you knew at a young age something was different.
Well, you know what? And I didn't look at it as gifted. I looked at it as we were working with her.
Right.
And not all parents do that with their kids.
Right.
So when she went to kindergarten, I was able to substitute just a few classes at her elementary school. And my friend, she ended up in her class. And I told her, I said, Olivia, we work with her. She's very on top of it. Well, she agreed. She was basically her little assistant. And other kids weren't writing their name, and Olivia's writing her name in script. Wow. So she was tested at winter break, and they would put her in the gifted class.
She's a little Elon Musk.
Yeah. And she just does what she needs to do.
Right.
She's getting a couple of B's now, but I know, and I say to her, if you put in that little bit of effort, you have the potential for all A's. Mm-hmm. I said, B's are not bad, but I know you're capable. And that's what I told her this semester. I want to see those all A's because you have it in you.
She can do it.
She can do it.
So I'm starting to feel, is this where Clarissa, which once again, I said it before the show, the only other person I ever knew of a Clarissa was the show. Remember the show?
Clarissa Explains It All, 1990,
so
yes.
But anyways, I've never met a Clarissa, so you're even that much more special. When does Clarissa get this burden of passion for housing and nurturing these exchange students?
Well, the way that I got involved with the exchange program was when I was pregnant with Olivia. Okay. John Brady was my guy that I don't even remember how we connected, but he's with Daytona State and still is. They had a program then for college students.
Okay.
So we took in a girl from Brazil for 3 months.
Wow. Just like that, though. Can we hover there for a minute? The reason I want to is because I think one of the things that as I get to know you, that you deal with is probably people's apprehension and confusion. I'm not going to let some stranger kid in my house.
Right.
So here you are. Did you feel that for a blip? You're like, or were you just so apt to do it?
I'm ready to be a mom. Oh, I wanted to bring
tender.
Yeah, I wanted to teach. I wanted to experience. I wanted to be educated as much as educating her in the American culture.
And you had this is a very special story because you had no doubt. Like here you are. You could have been using the word selfish is not applicable when you're taking care of your four walls. So if you had chose to take care of your four walls and said, I want my baby and I want her all to my lonesome, that's your prerogative. But you said, no, I'm going to let, at this point, a stranger be part of this miracle.
Yes.
This is really powerful. So now, what's the age groupish of the Brazil child?
So she was, and it's funny because I just saw her the other day. I haven't seen her.
How powerful.
Yes, it's powerful. I haven't seen her since Olivia was maybe 3. She came for the first visit.
Where did you see her?
And she came to Daytona. Her husband's American. Well, I didn't tell you. The 3 months she was living with me, she meets her now husband.
Oh, come on.
I'm not kidding. That's the life that's one of the examples of how you can change a life. Yeah.
Give a life. On it before I forget too, I'm really chronological, so I'm very interested in this. Is this okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Chase. Hubby, I'm bringing a Brazilian girl to be living here. Is he like, okay? Or is he like, time out. Wait a minute.
You know what?
What was that like?
I'd lie to you if I said I can remember, but the way that my husband is if I want something, he supports it.
So there was no pump the brakes.
I don't recall that, honestly.
Well, that means that there was. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now, boom, here we go. What I'm sure there's a unique fingerprint for every one of these processes, but in that process, from the minute you decided to do it and that the child had been selected through the process, et cetera, how long did it take till she was that first night laying in the bed? Was it a long time?
I don't think it was that long.
Okay.
I really don't.
Prior to the birth?
Yeah, no, I was pregnant the whole time. It was right before.
So she was in
my
bed
house.
status
Yes.
before birth.
Right.
Powerful, man.
Yeah. And it was only 3 months.
And it was a 3-month stint though.
Yeah, that she was in my home and then she went on to live
somewhere else.
Yeah.
So these 3 months, that was your first experience.
That was my first experience not working in that. And then when Olivia was 8, I saw an ad on the Facebook and jumped into trying it again.
So some time had lapsed.
Yes.
You went mom mode, which is totally fair.
Absolutely.
Went mom mode, focused on your own farm, raised, did the thing. Olivia is probably 8 going on 38. She's sharp. She's not probably, and you're going, I got some mental bandwidth here.
Yeah.
And you remembered how beautiful it probably was and the undescribable feelings it probably.
Mm-hmm.
Now, without going into depth on the Brazilian girl, did she come from is everything? I feel like Americans have this mindset that like everyone who's coming here is in like working in sweat camps. That's just coming from that. Was it a horror story or was it? And I think that that's probably also the misconception. And I speak from my own naive way of looking at it. I think the misconception would be anyone who's coming here from over there, anywhere, is got to be like, missing their soul because they've been messed up so much and they don't want to deal with that. But that's not the case.
No, I can't speak for that program because I don't know the background of the program, just being the host mom. Our program, the families are paying a good amount of money to send their kids here. So they've got the kids this dream of what American life is about from movies. You've got kids in their letters wondering what the lockers are like in high school. The simple things like that. And they are coming to the families that really, I'll say generally speaking, are your average homes, paycheck to paycheck, or your middle class families. It's not the wealthy. It's not the big houses.
Interesting.
And again, the families have to be vetted. Home visits are done. Clean homes. Not on food stamps. They have to be able to provide. Yes.
So this isn't an emergency thing.
No.
Okay. No. Interesting. So now Olivia's 8. You get the fever. Now at that second round of fostering, is that what it's called? What would you?
Student exchange.
Student exchange. Mm-hmm. Are you starting to get this itch where you're like, wait a minute, I don't want to just do this as I don't want to be I want to be the business side of things too. Like where does that?
That was asked by my local coordinator at the time, who she's passed away recently, and she was a beautiful person, and she's been in this business for a very long time.
Wow.
Wonderful person,
I'm sure.
But she is the one that brought me over to the working side. Plugger. Yeah, mm-hmm. She did. She got you. And that was with another company that I wound up leaving because of just not liking the way that they were doing things there. I tried to pull her over with me, but that did not work. But yeah, that I became the local coordinator, learning on my own with that company. Then when I came to ICES, we have a great support system, training that they give you from my regional director, Sarah. She's awesome. I could not do anything without her. She is so amazing at what she does.
She's your headquarters.
She's my regional director. But I became a local coordinator to a field manager to now the regional administrator. So, yeah.
And is it me or does it seem like a very short period of time? Did it kind of like you were on the fast train?
It was, with everything happening in life. When I first got on board, I was working for the VA.
Wow.
So I was doing it part-time.
I see.
And things happened and I wasn't happy with administratively speaking on the government side. And the CEO of ICES offered me in March to come over as a full-time regional administrator. So that was a huge change, leaving a job, a secure government job, to working from home.
Right.
Big switch. And I'll tell you, it's been a struggle in my head with that kind of freedom, which I like for my lifestyle with my daughter, and having that flexibility of being out in the community and educating and networking and learning social media to educate. I just had 2 open houses for the first time in 2 of the Volusia County schools for the 8th graders going into 9th grade. So we're getting in front of the schools, the kids, the families, and all I'm looking to do is educate on what is involved in being a host family. Because people do not wake up saying, I think I'm going to host an exchange student.
You don't.
It's just they need to see it over and over again. And
they need the exposure.
They need the exposure, and they need those questions answered. You know, a lot of people think you need to have a kid to exchange to send to that country and get one in return. No, it's just sending or receiving a student here. You don't have to have kids.
On this note, before I forget, because I think this is important. So for this particular segment of the show, we'll be pretty chill, Raj. What are some of the top 5 questions, 10 questions that you get received as the most, like, you know, the FAQs, the most frequently asked? Like, that's a good one, by the way. I don't have a kid. I can't do this.
Exactly.
You don't need to have it. So what's some of the most misconceptions that you see here that comes up? That's a good one.
Yeah. They think they need a kid, and they think they have to have kids. We have single parents, man or female. We have parents without kids. We have parents with 5 kids.
Wow.
If you have a bedroom for the student or a sibling that can share a room, whether it be bunk beds or 2 beds, as long as it's on a mattress, not a blow-up mattress or a pull-out couch, you're suitable. You're suitable.
Excluding, I'm sure, the other criteria, obviously, but this is just the quick bullet points.
Exactly.
Can I ask one maybe that
sure.
Health? I don't know. I'm just thinking the health of the student. Is that criteria through the clearance process something that's done where it's like, because once again, us all being Americans hypos, like, are they going to give me some crazy disease? Are they, you know, like, how's that process? Is that?
They are definitely vetted on their end through their agent. They have to have a physical before they come.
Interesting.
They have to be cleared from their English teacher. There's a test, an ELTA score that has to be at a certain level so they can communicate here. Because they have to maintain a C or better grade.
Ooh.
And we do not recommend them taking the advanced classes. But depending on the country, such as Italy, Brazil, Mexico, and I'm missing one. Mexico, Italy, Spain. Those 4 for sure can get their grades back to their country.
Oh, wow. So they're transferable.
They're transferable.
Interesting.
But we want them not to be struggling here.
Right.
So they have to communicate that. Our company's not responsible for transferring those grades. That's up to the student and the family.
Right. And
doing that with the school.
Right. But it is possible. Fascinating.
Yes, not all the countries. I had a student last year from Finland. She knew it was a wash of her being here. So it was really just for the cultural experience. Right. So she's 18 now and in 11th grade. So
small price to pay, in my opinion.
Absolutely. She does not regret it one bit.
I bet she don't.
Yeah.
So here's what's interesting. Does there seem to be a larger population of like age groups of children, genders, or is it kind of a, you know, for instance, do we see a lot of it in the 8th to 12th, 11th grade? You know what I mean? Is there like a magic?
We work with the high school.
Okay, so every entity kind of probably specializes in their own flow. You're doing high schoolers.
High school level, where the applications we're looking at now, the student may be 14, but will be 15 by the time that they get here.
Okay.
And each county in Florida or throughout the country has their rules. For instance, Volusia County, the exchange students have to be placed in the 11th grade at most.
Okay.
And they may take senior classes, where Lake County, for instance, will accept students that have already graduated from their country and they're just coming here for a cultural experience.
Okay.
But like I said, every county has different rules.
Right.
So,
but this is where you guys come in, though.
Exactly.
Because there is a lot of there's a lot of script to be read. And no one's reading anything anymore.
Right.
So you guys come in and say, listen, and I bet, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're going to fast forward and we continue to stay in love and you become my bestie. And a year from now, I get the fever.
Right.
I bet you kind of start your degree of knowing me.
Yes, absolutely.
Would probably help me going, all right, you're going to need a beach dude.
Yes.
You don't want someone coming, not necessarily, you get my point though. You're going to kind of know my flavor of knowing what's probably in parallel with my lifestyle, my wife and our flow. They go, I got just a student.
And that's when I love to look through the applications and find a few at a time and send you have the final say.
Right.
I just want to lessen the load of how many applications you're going to look through.
Right.
And for Volusia County, I like to look at the 15 and 16-year-olds and stay away from the older kids.
So is this okay that I'm like jumping around? This is great.
I'm going with the flow.
All right, love. So I'm interested in this particular student. Are you allowed, do you guys facilitate chitty chats with the kid, like a FaceTime, or it's not like that?
Not like that, because you've got to be vetted as a family.
Okay.
You have to choose the student.
Okay.
Then we have to get the high school acceptance form from the school.
Okay.
Then the school sends that to the county. I'm sorry. The county sends that to the high school.
Okay. Then
the student is supposed to contact the family.
So email, it's kind of like now it's their decision.
They are supposed to, yes. So, and then that's why I say choosing a student early on in the process is great, going through the process. So you have all this time from now until they show up here August 1 that you've built a relationship. You're telling them everything that you're going to do, what the weather's like.
Bring your flip-flops.
Yes.
Right, you're helping. Now, is that how it always works? So it's almost like how insurance unfortunately works, where it's like you open enrollment. Is there an opening season, and then it's always set for that next semester? Can it be done mid?
It is really going on year round.
Okay.
Because we're even placing students last minute. Like just recently, Volusia County only does the 10-month program, which is a full year.
Meaning the student is allowed to be here for 10 months.
Yes.
Interesting.
Other counties allow a 1 semester, which can be from January to June or July to December.
Okay.
So we were just trying to place the last few students for January, but I knew Volusia doesn't do that until there was 1 student left. And I just met a family at that open house, and I said, you know what? I'm going to at least try. That's what I can do for the kids to say, maybe they'll say yes.
You're an advocate for them.
Yeah. So I contacted the county and I tried, and she said, no, it disrupts the county of the school year. So I said, you know what, though? I feel better that I tried.
You did your part.
And I think after Tammy, one of our other local coordinators in New Smyrna Beach, I think she and I are going to go to the county and see if we can do a pilot.
Oh.
And try to do a couple of students for January and a couple of students for the August, and see, maybe it won't disrupt. Maybe it won't disrupt.
Maybe you will disrupt.
I don't know.
That's a good thing.
I figured
Change it up a bit.
Yeah. Why not?
You're giving me the fever, dude. Because we don't have children.
Yeah.
And I've been told, which has been very, very nice, but I've been told that like kids, I do good with kids, and I have a couple kids in this hood, and I love these kids. I got my eye out for these kids.
But you know what? The busy people are, in my opinion, the best people to do this. There's kids out there for everybody.
Right.
And you get that from watching their video. Once you're vetted, some of them have their videos, reading their letter, reading their parents' letter. The kids, you're not revolving your life around the kid. They are living the life you're living. And that is huge. Yeah, that's huge.
You can get me a little soccer dude.
And there's so many of them.
Well, the minute you leave the States, you know that. Soccer is that's why I'm so happy that your daughter's playing that sport.
Yes.
And I'm 100% biased, and it's the best sport in all the land.
Yes.
Because it's the most universal language in all the world. She could literally not speak, and they'll just going to say, what position do you play? To some degree, she will understand that, and she'll go right here, and she'll do it, and she will be invited to dinner that night.
I love watching her.
When I saw when I was looking for a photo of you today, I saw photos of her, and I thought, see, I can only imagine what it's like to love something that you created, you know, and not to mention, I could
rotten as she is to me, I still love her.
Rotten. But it's powerful. And when you spoke about her, and this is applicable to most parents, but when you spoke about her and her passion for the sport, and all, I mean, it's like
I light up. Yeah.
That heart, man. I'm surprised it fits in your chest. It's a big one.
Yeah.
Did you tangent, just because I'm curious out of the getting to know you? And if you did, I don't need to know the specifics, but did you go through something that made your heart 3 times bigger? Remember the Grinch's heart gets 10 times bigger? Did you go through something that made your heart so big? Or was this by consequence of just being a lover of life? And you know what I mean? Or was there, and I'm only asking this out of love.
No, I love my family. I'm so fortunate. My parents, my grandparents, I've got one grandma left. She's 91. But my father's parents, we grew up with them. They played with us. She'd played basketball with us and swim with us and go camping with us. We loved it. I've just always had a close family relationship. Good. And I want to bring people in to that love. Every Christmas, we go to my cousins in Georgia. I've got my aunt and my uncle there. They have a boy and a girl that are my age, and they each have 2 kids. The kids go. My aunt is amazing. She decorates her 3-story house with everything Christmas. This is my German side. And then they play scavenger hunts and all these games, winning prizes.
Right.
And it's fun for the exchange students. They love it.
Right.
They're getting older. I don't know when it's going to stop, but they really enjoy hanging out with each other. And I enjoy seeing that. I can just sit there and have my coffee and just watch the kids.
So that's what you have, a love and a passion towards life, which is you want to share it back. Do you ever sometimes feel that you're at like a buffet and there's no one there? Or do you feel like there's a lot of people with you?
I think it's just pulling them out to realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
showing them where it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I feel like I'm learning about you, is that you seem to be, you want people to see where it is. Like you found the land of milk and honey, and you're like, psst, it's right here.
Yes.
Versus going, yeah.
I want to share.
Does that ever backfire? No?
I don't think so.
Good for you.
I just let and we by no means have tons of money.
No, you don't come off that way at all.
We live simple.
Yeah.
And just normal. Like, I mean, you can ask my exchange student, Muna, who's here from Thailand. I'm tough on her. Yeah.
So you have an exchange student now?
Every year. Every year since.
You're like, but duh.
Yeah, every year.
Do you ever not have one now, or are you pretty much back to back?
Olivia wanted to take a break this coming year.
That's fair.
And I said okay to that. But then I said,
I'm the mom, and I want to do it.
I didn't want to go against her.
Right.
But I figured if I said, hey, let's try for a boy. Let's have a big brother.
You never had a boy?
Not
as a student.
For a full school year. I did another program over the summer for the past few years, and we had a boy for 30 days.
Okay.
So it's a different program. It's hard because they're not in school. They're not busy.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So they're doing activities, and that's tough because I think they want to be a little bit more entertained.
Right.
And I don't have that kind of money to entertain them all the time.
You know,
like even Disney, I can't do every year.
No, of course.
So we try to arrange during the school year, getting other families together that do it. Mm-hmm. And we help out with that. But so I found this boy from Spain.
Is this the one you were telling about?
That's the surfer and the soccer. And I saw his video, and he just had this loving passion for life with a younger sister. And now his sister's 8 and little, where Olivia might be taller than him because she's really tall for her age. But I just really wanted to see her have a sibling
Yeah.
with the same athletic ability and passion.
Did they get to play together?
They'll practice because she
Oh,
goes.
he's not here yet.
He's not here yet. No, I have to get the approval
How
that
old
he's
is he?
accepting. He's either 15 or 16 by
Can
the
I
time
have
he gets
him?
there. Absolutely. He's
Bring
going to
him
want to
in.
do it. Absolutely.
He is more than welcome.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm waiting again because of the rules. He was requesting 12th grade. We had to say Volusia County only does 11th grade, but you may take the senior classes.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for the official. Judy's telling me that she's responded to them twice about it. They haven't said no,
Okay.
but I'm like, they didn't say yes, and I'd like to start communication.
Right.
You know, so I'm just.
So this is
I can't
exciting
wait.
now.
Yeah, because Olivia agreed to it.
Mm-hmm.
He surfs, which is not something that she really does, but
Right.
he can.
But he has something that he doesn't need to go to Disney.
No, surfing. His home is on the beach in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So, and I know people through networking that I've been told he can borrow a surfboard, and I'd love for him to volunteer.
If for any reason any of that goes null,
yeah,
we will get him anything. That makes me excited. And plus, Spain was a very special place in my heart because that little man Messi.
Yes.
He'd be living in there.
Yes.
So,
and Olivia's got a fan there.
But he could be a Ronaldo fan, so we'll have to figure out. We'll do our own vetting when he comes.
Absolutely.
But this is exciting.
And Olivia's taking Spanish next year. Not that there will be. He needs to speak English, and we need to get that working awesome. But his English is pretty good now through his video.
Listen, one thing I've noticed in the last, the world is changing extremely fast. But in the last handful of moons that we've been going out of this country, most everybody speaks 3 languages.
I know,
unfortunately, and I don't say. I know. And look, it's sad. I think America's the best country in the whole world. Galaxies, but we gotta speak a little bit different. It's crazy. You can't even figure out what language most people speak because you go there and they're speaking and you're like, oh, you're Italian, and they're like, no, I'm Finnish, and you're like, oh, okay, and you can't. We can, barely get by on our own. So it's interesting.
I speak New York.
Well, that was funny too. A guy came up to me the other day and he goes, oh, you were in Italy? Yeah. I said, yeah. He goes, what part? I said, well, I was in Naples. And he goes, oh, I can't speak Napolitan. But he could speak Italian.
Right.
But same thing. There's always there's always a different slang and a different flow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very powerful when you can have like 3 fluid. But so this is amazing.
I think it's up to the parents to help guide.
Yeah.
So Olivia will be in 7th grade next year, and she will be taking beginning Spanish.
I think it's fantastic.
You have to speak that here.
If I could, once again, biasly, I have a really cute little story. I told this to a friend of ours. We were taking a walk yesterday. We walked by Mama Chinchuli's. Do you know Donna Chinchuli?
I do not.
This woman came from another galaxy. She came from the galaxy known as love. This galaxy that I hated her in school. So I have this crazy little cute story that I was a really, really bad student. If I had $1 for every time a teacher said, you need to try to fail my class because I was not doing anything in school. So here I go into Spanish class at FPC, and I literally hated her because she was so good at her. She was not, I couldn't, if I looked off for just a minute, she was like, Vicente.
You're talking about the teacher or another student?
Teacher.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, gosh, on the phone with my dad probably daily. He didn't do. He did. And I was just like, I want to leave. I want to get out of that class. It gave me such this anger towards learning a language, and I was not doing well. She was on me. So I barely probably passed the class. Who knows? Probably by the graciousness of her heart, she probably was like, you just need to get out of here. I tell her to this day, I'm like, I don't know how you dealt me. So fast forward, I end up doing you had to do another year of Spanish, et cetera.
Right,
My point
2
is
years.
I leave high school with kind of and of course she wasn't that much of a figment or an issue because of school in general. But here's my story. I end up leaving, and I end up at some point in my life living in Central America for a very long period of time. And I flew there all without any return ticket, and I couldn't speak Spanish. and I
crazy.
got there and Mama Chinchuli like came out of me and it started to happen. And I ended up writing her like a 3-page, 4-page letter. And she still has it.
Oh my God.
I moved to Flagler 10 years-ish ago. Here. I grew up in the Compton, but moved here. She's my neighbor.
Oh my gosh.
And I had written that letter through the Costa Rica stint where I said, I love you. And I am so sorry for what I did. And I was being cleansed as a human anyways. I had stripped myself of so much.
Yeah.
And part of that was like, you let this woman know that you were lucky she didn't kill you. Mm-hmm. Imagine how much she couldn't stand me. And she was able to bottle it and to continue to teach and persevere. And I was one of a bazillion she taught for many years. I love her. I love her. I couldn't even explain to you in words how much I love her. But point is, if there's one language I could say that has been the most conducive to travel, there seems to be a very large common denominator of the Spanish. Absolutely. Is very, very, very helpful. And I'm so glad because of her, combined with, and you know this as well as I do, you don't really start to pick it up until you have no choice. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to hear it,
put in it,
and can't get out. Mm-hmm. I was in the center of the hood of Costa, and I was within a 30-mile radius of me. Not one person spoke English.
Wow.
And there was no like, okay, just for a second.
Right.
Really, where do I get the extra paper? No, it was, all right, I got to do this. Before you know it, but powerful. And I think it's awesome for your daughter. And of course, that's just my own we're all just astronauts. We don't really know what we're doing. Right. So that's been my little atmosphere that I've been in. It seems to have been very helpful. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of languages that kind of carry a lot of the same, even though the Portuguese have the beach to beach, and then the Italians have their things, there's always Spanish kind of helps you. There's a lot of words that kind of
similar.
The Latin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's awesome at that age. And like I said, if I start to form a relationship with your daughter from the pitch, majority of them all are Spanish. And you'll be like,
I'm like, and then you can pick things up that they think you don't know.
That's always the best.
Yeah.
You're in an airport terminal and they're talking and you're like, I got you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is amazing. So I think, no joke, and we're going to talk about this as you and I become besties.
Yes.
I think I'm going to actually look into this.
The wifey?
It worked.
But you know what is the local support that you have with somebody that's been doing this? For instance, when I get a new host family like the other day, I met somebody at Seabreeze open house that neither one of us realized it, but we met at a mutual friend's wedding. And then the after party wedding. So I started her application. Well, she started it. I filled in the parts about the rules, the information that I could help with. I said, I just did this to give you an idea. I said, you can change it, tweak it, whatever. But for instance, 9 p.m., phone off. These students do not need their phone after 9 o'clock at night. That is my biggest struggle, is the kids on the phone. Mm-hmm. It is taking away from them speaking better English. Mm-hmm. My student too, and I've shared it with her father. As a host parent, I can communicate with her parents. As a local coordinator, I am not supposed to be speaking to my students that I'm overlooking. Mm-hmm. I don't communicate with their parents. I'm communicating with the host family, the student, and the school to make sure everything's going well. Other than that, there's a chain of command. Okay. But my student videos, social media,
TikTok.
So much. And now I need her to help me with TikTok.
By the way.
Yes. But it's for their own good. Mm-hmm. They should not be communicating with their family and going to their family for their problems here. They need to be going to their host family and their siblings and their school for help. Weekend, 1 hour is enough time for you to video with your family. That's it. And sometimes we have to tell the families to back off. You're not helping. Right. So those are those guidelines.
These are some of the growing pains.
Yeah.
The phone thing, I told my wife this today. I said, something really is magically happening in these four walls. We don't have much either. And you're a testament of that because you see my little home, and I'm very
And I love your little home.
Thank you.
I do.
Yesterday we had human beings here from 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. 4 rounds of different human beings. And this has been something that's become rather habitual. And I don't know what's going on. But the whole don't tell me about your God, live it thing, people are being so attracted, not to our, our
humble abode,
the champagne flying from the sky. And it's something's happening here. My point of telling you this is by consequence of me learning, and I love to show where the milk and honey is too. This beautiful woman told me yesterday that she started to not keep her phone in the room, because that's what I've been doing, because that's what I was taught recently. This isn't like old scrolls. This is all new for us. Here we are as astronauts. We have no idea what the hell we're doing.
Right.
Don't keep your phone in the room. It's so hard. And I've only just recently started exercising that, because I had a beautiful man on the show, and her life happiness has gone. The meter is like not just incrementally. We're talking like your sleep, your this. So my point of telling you is that those exercising those tactics, I feel like you're beyond a host person. You're beyond a host exchange woman. You have this love. It's happening, and people like us, it's very important to just keep being and to share. But I do know that it's also very important to like be particular about who you let on your aeroplane. That's my growth right now, is that there's a lot of people that want to board it, but they get mad when their flight paths aren't sometimes going over their territory.
Positive energy.
Yeah.
I cannot be around people that take me down. And it's like, if you don't have that upward mobility going, I just need positive energy around me.
You know what I've noticed too, and this applies to everybody. Who doesn't get mad at the person that looks cooler or thinks that they're cooler, right? So there's this fine line that I feel we all walk as human beings, that don't preach it, just live it. Once again, you know how someone does CrossFit? Because they tell you. I'm learning that I don't need to necessarily do what I used to do when I was younger, where it was like, this is what I'm going to do, and this is where our relationship has changed now, so just get with it.
Right.
Let time tell.
Exactly.
I
feel best. I've been on my exercise thing for a while now, and I'm feeling so much better with my body, because I've had neck, back, shoulder problems. I'm fit now, where my mind is healthy. I still, I'm not the perfect mom.
Of course, we all
I
have
get
our
angry
qualms. Come on.
when she doesn't do what she's supposed to do. My husband just yelled at me this morning because I'm
humans.
bringing it up before school. I got yelled at for that. He says, there's a time. I said, I don't want dishes in the sink. When I'm home, clean my sink. Let me have my day, and I will clean my dishes.
But have you learned this too? I used to battle with keeping even your thoughts pure, right? Like, gotta stay positive. Look, here's how I feel, and maybe I'm wrong, but moving into this new decade, I think it's healthy to think. If you're thinking negatively, then think negatively. If you're anxious idiot, then think anxious idiot. What you do is what's going to dictate you. And this is nothing new under the sun for those that have been practicing it. But for those that battle with, like I was dealing with, and a lot of people that are being at my house from 9 a.m. to 2:30 a.m., is they're all battling with something. I think it's okay here. Let it be. If you're hungry, be hungry. I think it's when you stop thinking is the issue. I used to try to recreate my thoughts and thinking, Peter Pan, flying high, bangarang, always good, and it needs to start here, and then it goes here. I don't believe that anymore. What I believe is think it, because you're not your thoughts. Okay? And whether good or bad, I'm not a dolphin. If I want to be a dolphin, I'm not. I can try to be. And if those characteristics exemplify good character, then that's, I think, a good thing. But if I want to be a demon and you're exemplifying that, then there are ramifications for both. By being a dolphin, I swim a little bit better in the water. By being a demon, the guy next door is going to want to kill me. Follow? And I'm learning that it's healthy for you to even just say what you did about, I had, lack of better words, a shitty morning. I had I had these stuff, but that's okay. Now on to the next. And I think it's like Chief Downey, our local police guy here, said, he taught me, you're only as good as your last 24. So today you and I could go right now, conquer another galaxy. We could find water on Pluto. We would be recognized. Statues would be erected. You and I would be there. We would be speaking. We would be getting paid $500,000 to go give a speech today. And look at us. We found water on Pluto, and bet 24 hours from then. Now what are you going to do? The minute you get that DUI, that's your new blueprint until the next. So I'm learning, don't just sit in your glory and don't sit in your suck for too long. Move on. So today you had a little bit of a...
Yeah, my thing is, if I don't get it off my mind now, it's forgotten. That's why I do what I do.
I got to say this before I forget.
I'll forget.
But isn't it? That's what I'm learning anyways. And I love when people are able to be vulnerable. And that's the byproduct of this show, is when they say, I didn't do good in the morning, but I'm going to do good tonight. Or I had a really great week. I'm a little anxious that it's not going to go well, but I'm not going to act on it. You know, because I used to not sleep. It's the biggest thing I ask people when they do stress to me sometimes. Like I said, it's just been amazing. The people that come over here have been, I can't, if there was a way to pay my bills off of doing it, it would be fantastic and I don't care about it because the reward is, I had someone tell me, are you okay with jumping around like this?
Sure.
I had someone tell me the other day, because of you, because I know you would have did it, I did it.
Interesting. Powerful.
And I'm like, I'm just a little boy flying around in this
Who am I?
earth. And my wife was with me when he said it. And I'm not going to tell him who it was, but let me just tell you, he's got a decade-ish on me, if not more. So I'm over here like figuratively looking up, like, teach me.
Yeah.
And he cornered me in a good way the other day. And he says, I just want you to know. And he did something ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous, that most human beings don't do. I don't want to say what it was because the gift was beautiful, but he gave, and he gave big.
Nice.
And he said, I did it because I knew you would have did it. And I was like,
wow, interesting.
So my point is, you never know, by product of just living and being, what other people are going to extract, good and bad.
I teach my daughter, I try to get her in the community and help. We don't have the cash flow to be giving in that way. I want her to give in time because, again, working with the exchange students, I want them in the community, meeting new people, different people. We went to, it didn't happen this past year for I don't know what reason, but last year we went and helped feed the less fortunate.
Of course.
And my auntie from Finland was really moved. And she wanted to do it again. And, it just made her feel really good. And just when I'm overseeing 16 kids from Jacksonville to Orlando to, not quite Brevard, but, that 120-mile radius is my location. And these families are busy. They're very busy. So getting them all together is difficult. But what I set up is a Facebook group for my parents and my kids to throw out ideas, to do events. Like we're going to have a table in New Smyrna Beach tomorrow for a big Caribbean event.
What time?
Canal Street. I'm going to be there early. I believe it starts at 9 to 3 for sure.
9 a.m. New Smyrna.
Yes. New Smyrna Beach will be there.
Where exactly?
Canal Street.
Is that like a known place? Because I don't know where that is.
It is.
Okay.
It's a known, that's where New Smyrna has lots of events. So we're going to have a table there and there's a Caribbean theme. And again, we're just going to be educating and we try to get our students to come.
Awesome.
To talk to people.
So they actually see.
Yes. So they can use that time to walk around.
Right.
Bring people to the table or speak to them at the table.
Right.
They need to speak and
they need to be out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see what you're saying though on that, back to the growing pains about having this, the tech thing has got to be really interesting because, I don't know. It's just so tough. It goes against all the preaching of most of these influencers because their phones and stuff are bringing in revenues, et cetera, et cetera. But there's two ways I've been looking at it when those that ask me about this tech world thing now is that here are the facts about the physical side of it. The blue light is killing you. That's a fact. So that's that 1 degree that can't be disputed.
Right.
Yes, it's making you money. If that was, I'm playing devil's advocate.
Right.
I'm the guy. And
I'm guilty.
I'm like, I got 10 million Instagram followers and I just got paid by L'Oreal $4 million. So like it'd be hard to argue with that person because you're like, well, okay then. But your eyes, you know, what it's doing to you, your physical body is really killing you. It was really interesting because I had a guy on here who was just a really interesting, very intelligent, overall holistic guy. And he was telling you what the words were way past my understanding, but what these things are doing to us. But that's that one argument. But the second side of thing is that I'm, as you can imagine, like I told you, I'm in communication with a lot of people from daybreak to day dawn. And a lot of them don't want to talk on the phone. I'm like that one guy to a lot of these peoples that are like, you're the only dude I talk to on the phone. I'm like, yeah, it's healthy for me. I'm doing a lot of this for me and my own growth, but the texting's great when you say tomorrow noon 4, but you can't do this over text.
Absolutely.
You can't fall in
and
love
I'm
with somebody.
guilty of it because I always feel like, because now my schedule is so free.
Yeah.
I don't want to disturb them. They may be working.
Yeah.
So I text them to say,
right,
let's set up a time to talk.
But isn't it good, whoever you have in your Rolodex of people that still go, Clarissa, let's chitty chat, and an hour goes by and it's good. And it doesn't have to be on the phone. It could be with the random stranger on the boardwalk today.
Yeah,
it's absolutely good to talk.
Mm-hmm.
But consumerism at its finest is becoming next, and it's not good. And that's why TikToks, they ask you 2 questions. Is this going to be 15 seconds or 60 seconds? What are you doing? They don't give you any.
15 wasn't enough for me.
No, I never.
And I was cut off and I said, you know what? I'm leaving it.
15 doesn't work for people like you. 15 is like, what am I doing? By the time I turn the thing on, I'm already.
Exactly.
But isn't that's what that app knows is it's all mathematical equation.
Well, what I see my own daughter doing is the copying the dance. I said, I want you to be a leader.
Yeah.
And then this morning she's on it. She gets up early enough to get herself ready for school, which she does all by herself. I have nothing to do with that. My husband says, so what's going on today? Tell me some current events. I said, you know what, Steve? That's a fabulous idea. The amount of time she's on her phone, she should give us 1 current event a day.
She should TikTok you.
Yeah.
Even if it's renegade.
Serious. I like that.
Give me a TikTok.
Absolutely.
In the flesh.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Maybe it would work, but I know that, put it this way, if my wife were to share some of her woebegones, it would be like, this guy doesn't shut up. I love, I got shower talk. We got this. I love to stay in communication. And it maybe not even be the healthiest. It's a lot of probably codependency issues where I like to be reminded that I'm a nice man, hopefully. And she does that. And I loved, like even today, this show, it almost does my work for me because now I don't have to tell anybody what we talked about.
Right. Hey.
Because I had some haters out there like, you're not even breaking like 10,000 views or something. Like, really? Like, come on then.
I was happy with 300 on my first day.
I don't care. The fact is that we're doing it. Like, I don't know how you feel, but this gives me an opportunity in a public and through here, even though there's no one here, to get to know you. Like this is what we would be doing with or without these little lights on.
Absolutely.
And once again, today when I was posting your name and your photo, that heart, man.
And I don't even see it like
that's great.
that. To me, it's just
it's involuntary.
Is me. Yeah.
But that's why it's probably so big. Is that, and that's why I asked you before, and I appreciate you being honest and just candid. That most of the time that my experience so far, the reason why people wear helmets is because they fell once. You're just good. And that's good. I mean, I don't know you've gone through some poop. Come on. Like I know there's probably people listening right now or will listen. They're like, we almost fell off a cliff. What are you talking about? You're not telling about it. But you've obviously got to a place in life anyways where you realize that it was all just paper cuts. And that's healthy, really powerful.
I know I struggled in school. I focused on a boy, we'll say just a boy. And I didn't take school seriously, but I don't think I had the smarts. I studied nursing school. I worked really hard. and realized that wasn't for me with only, I don't know, 5 classes left for my bachelor's in nursing. But my daughter has that smart. I worked my butt off. There wasn't enough hours in the day for nursing school. I had to repeat a class, got a B in it, but I don't feel like it was a B.
Right.
I really just didn't get it the way, at the cellular level, I did not get it the way I needed to get it. And when I had the people I had to follow on the floors, they just didn't have that confidence.
Right.
And I didn't want to be like that. And I really had to dig deep to say, am I going to finish this through? I decided to change my course and went a different route.
That takes some.
Yeah, that was digging.
To do that.
I was digging. It was hard. I thought I was going to go back in the military as a nurse. That changed. And then I was older. So it definitely changed some courses. And then one of my best friends from basic training, she just retired. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But then I wouldn't have met my husband. I wouldn't have Olivia. Right. So things happen for a reason. But that was just a struggle for me. But seeing my daughter, that she's naturally has that. And if she just gives, and this is with education and soccer, she has a natural ability. If she just gave it that little bit of a push, she would be even that much better.
She's like supernova. She even tried.
Yeah.
That's been my life. I share that in common with you, where like 18 hours of studying when I would get the D or C. And I'm like, okay, this isn't for me. So, because I didn't even try till I did 2 years at, we called it 13th grade at the time, at DBCC.
I got my degree there.
I enjoy. I mean, I did it because my family and we were very simple peoples. We didn't have a lot. My
There's
dad. There's
nothing wrong with that. No. That it was community school. Now it's a state school.
But it was hard to get away from the noise though, because all of my jerk friends, which means they're your good friends.
Yeah.
My jerk friends all were going to do big things. And I remember being like, okay, this one's going to NYU. This one's going to dun, 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 dun. And I remember being like, okay,
Daytona.
I'm like, well, I'm going to at least go, because if you didn't say you were going to school, you're an idiot. Plus, I was so blessed because my family wasn't financially big time. We were able to get, the financial aids and things like that. But my dad, we grew up. I never, I give so much looking back on it. And I've told my dad this, like, I never really knew we didn't have it, so to speak, because we had such a good living environment.
Yeah.
Like, we had the biggest pool on the block, but by consequence of it being, and we lived in the F section. So like my living, I felt like I lived in Fern Gully, like I had a blast.
My mother-in-law lived over there.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was Farragut, 16 Farragut Drive.
Fairchild. She lived on.
They're all the same. Yeah. I could probably
right by
throw
there. I remember it. Yeah.
So that I still to this day, if I have a meeting or if I have soccer, which I play there on Sundays, if I'm early, I'll go ride around my old hood, and I have good feelings about it. Mm-hmm. I know there's probably not a lot of people that I don't know. Those movies. I'm speaking about movies where they're like, "This is my old hood."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
F this place. I love going back, and I'm this close still. One of these days, I want to go to my old house and be like,
"Can I come in?" I do that.
Yeah,
totally.
I almost want. I keep thinking like times have changed, right? My luck, I get like shot in the foot or something. Like, hey man, I'm like, get out of here. But I love. It's very surreal to be sitting with people like yourself, and all of a sudden you end up like, watch, by consequence of time, somebody will be like my best friends there. Oh yeah. I had the guy you met the other day.
Yeah.
That was as he was coming in, coming out. That's another thing that's happened with me. I used to try to like I wanted everyone to think that I was like Elon Musk's, like I wanted like. Now people are coming in, the one's leaving, and there's so much love being exchanged. It's so surreal. Like it wasn't like, oh no, meeting's overlapping. He's gonna be mad. She's gonna get mad. There's almost like I'm gonna go pee.
It's supposed to happen.
You guys, and it's awesome. And I did. Like you guys just talked.
Yeah.
His daughter was married to one of my besties in high school.
Oh my gosh.
Who would have thunk?
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen maybe it does happen in big cities, but there's something very special out here.
Mm-hmm.
And I really need to come up with a new word, because I say to people, like, I'm proud of you, but I guess ultimately it's boiling down to like, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really appreciate you. And I really thank you. I've been saying that a lot via text to a lot of people. When people post things online, and I'm friends with almost everybody, this is the dirt. Him and I were dirty stay outs last night. This is the drop off. You see? But at least it was here.
Yeah.
But we were.
He was waving.
I love you. That's what he was wearing too.
Okay. It happens.
But there's something really special about when you see someone post something online, and I'm the guy that texts you, like, you'll see that's going to happen with you. You'll post something and do something, and I'm not the guy to comment on there.
Yeah.
I'm the guy to send you the text and go, I really thank you for just, and I love making people remind themselves that they're gorgeous.
Oh,
I think it's healthy.
Yeah.
Isn't it good to be told you look good?
It is good. But you know what? When I went home and told my husband, I said, I love him.
Yeah.
I said that to Steve. With meeting you, I just said to him, there was just this spark, this connection that I said to you. I said, we're totally hanging out at Chase's bar. Totally.
I got the golden ticket.
Yeah.
When you left, I literally, that was the first ever that we made a Sammy for a complete stranger. You know,
my gosh.
That took a lot. I was happy that you were going to receive it, because, you know, the world.
You never know how people. You never know.
People are like, oh, there's going to be a lot of hair in there, and there could have been.
Dog hair's better.
Gives it that crunch. So you never, you know how people are particular, like, no,
yes,
I'm okay.
I agree.
You were so comfortable about it that you were just like, oh, no. I know this is perfect.
Sure.
This is even better.
Yes.
And I love that you received it well, because I've been telling people that, all these young kids that ask me, like, how do you do you kind of thing? How do I get there? And more I'm like, be obnoxiously you. Mm-hmm. Don't change.
Absolutely.
And it sounds so cliche. Who hasn't said that since Mr. Rogers' days? We've heard it.
It drives me crazy how my daughter is just so concerned about what everybody thinks.
I know, but we've been there.
So just be you. Really? I don't see it.
You never were there?
I guess I was. I'm trying to show her that I've been there, done that. This is the better way.
Right.
Yes, she's not even 12 yet, but she's so much more mature than that.
Right.
So she can have a conversation with a complete new stranger and have an adult conversation.
Right.
So I just said, you're not like the others, but be real.
I want her through your parental guidance. I would like to show her something really powerful, and that is, when you tell people, you probably have this in your Rolodex of life, but I've had friends that I've had for 2+ decades, which is really precious.
Absolutely.
Some 3.
Yes.
Just
Agree.
Crazy.
Agree.
And people are like, I had someone say to me the other day, he goes, you've known this guy for this long? I said, yeah. He goes, I don't have anyone in my life that long that I've known. And I was like, damn, I don't even know what that feels like.
You think this town is small? Where I grew up, we were in kindergarten through 9th grade, and then did not have a high school, and we had to split up to 3 different high schools. I am friends with all of them. Thank goodness for social media.
Right.
That helps that. That is a connection that is just, even though you're far away, you just can't explain it.
But my point with your daughter, so these, and once again, you know as well as I do, real friends talk shit to your face. Mm-hmm. Fake friends talk it behind you. Mm-hmm. These guys will say it right to my face.
Right.
You're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And but the powerful thing was, I did a TikTok, and these 3-4 jerk 17s immediately privately texting me, immediately like, real cool, bro. Like, you know, haha, because we've all known each other before we could see over a counter.
Right.
And the one who initiated it, who is actually he is old, that is America, like prestigious man, Navy SEAL for 15 plus years. One of those. And he's everything that a man, you know, like he's a superhero. He's the one who initiated it. Gave it to the rest. They eat me alive.
Right.
He texts me privately, and here's a man 2+ decades, and he goes, the only reason I do that is because I'm jealous of you.
Oh.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Of course, this guy's got his own jazz. He's got
Yeah.
his own. He's doing
Different.
But he goes, I'm jealous of you. Now, of course, I have to put you down to make myself feel better. But that's really all that it is, and that's all that it really was. Now, that's love. But those actual real haters that are putting them down, that's all. It's so crazy, but that's all that it really is.
Yeah.
That's literally. It's that simple. Mr. Rogers said it all the time. But to not let it affect you is so hard. And my heart goes out to, what your daughter's going. You're just strong and tenacious. So I don't like using the word lucky. You're just that alien species that you were able to use it as probably like, okay, I'm good. Moving on. She's in that moment. And I was there. I hated that. And I told you, no joke, and I mean this, and I don't want to speak. I don't want to prophesize some kind of negativity, but what is the common denominator is that she's going to be embarking on that cliquish pitch play. And I preach against that.
Right.
I literally turn into like a Super Saiyan, and I will ruin that figuratively. I don't stand for that.
Right.
But she's about to be in that. She's going to that war zone. Teach her that anybody that picks on her or says that you're half step too slow, your cleats aren't cool, whatever it is, they want to be you.
That's what I tell
Powerful.
her. I tell her. Yeah.
And it's just only that you actually, it's tough though to turn that noise off though, Clarissa.
The kids this age, when I'm hearing them talking about boyfriends and girlfriends, I go, Olivia's not allowed to date until she's 30 because Olivia doesn't like drama. And what is drama? Boyfriends and girlfriends. And when you've got a boyfriend at 12 years old and other girls like the boyfriend, they're going to hate you. So I'm protecting you. You might hate it, but I'm protecting you. So we go through that a lot. And because she's an athlete, the boys like her because she can be one of the boys. She'll be the first to say, I'm not a girly girl. And I met one of the twin boys' mamas last week. And I said, there's no dating. I said, there's no dating here. So I had to make sure of that. But why date? You need to focus on school. And you can think he's cute.
Playing devil's advocate. It sounds like you were a dater pants. I was a dater pants. That's all I did.
In middle school, we were roller skating and holding hands.
We weren't sending TikToks to each other.
It's so different now.
I was just taught with the dirty stay out.
Right.
We were talking about, we all know the same people. That's a 2-decader.
Yeah.
And he and I were talking about, we all know, like my first kiss was 6th grade, Cassie Chambers. I'll never forget, at an intro school. And we were always on the phone. But it was a different scene then.
Yeah. It's so different.
It required talking.
Right.
And moving your face to the person.
Exactly.
And if you were a jerk, if you smelt figuratively or literally, really, it showed. And there's nothing wrong with a little bit of a stench now. As I get older, I think it kind of reflects characteristic. But if you're not taking care of yourself, there's nothing to hide behind. There's no screen to hide behind. There's no filter. And that's because it's hard to be an interneter and to say don't be on the interneter.
Right.
So, but what I do think is if you're interneting a lot, then go be outside of that much, if not more. It has to be the same. So make sure, I think that's a fun little rule for, what is your daughter's name?
Olivia.
Olivia has to TikTok for you, what's going on? What is?
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting. And I think you're, once again, I can't use the word proud because I'm learning from you, but I thank you. Like, I really think you got like a lot of, and that when you talk about your family, you turn into another beautiful creature because there's this, I can imagine this family you have, this unit. There's a lot of noise in a family though. So you're able to stay afloat. But that's good stuff.
Family's important. And I just like to learn, bring the other cultures in, and even overseeing all these 16 kids, bringing them all together, learning from each other, communicating with them, showing them right from wrong. We say it's not right, it's not wrong, it's just different. And that's big too.
But I think you're doing great. Like I said, I'm no dictation of what's good or bad, but I feel really good. You make me happy.
I like that.
Did we do good?
We did good.
So event tomorrow.
New Smyrna Beach. And then in April, off the top of my head, is the Jewish Federation in the Casements. They do that every
that?
2 years in Ormond Beach under
Okay.
the bridge. We will have a table there as well. Because I just found out that I thought a country needs to go through all this stuff to be able to send students here. But if I had an advocate recruiting Israeli students, because I'm Jewish, we can get Israeli students over here going to public school on a J1 visa. So I'm trying to find, with all my Jewish connections, if anybody in Israel wants to find us some students to come here, I can maybe get, some families to have students from Israel. So that's something new that I'm trying to
Have you
work
been
on.
to the motherland?
I have not yet.
There.
It's gonna.
Gotta
I don't know if
go.
it can happen this year, but definitely by next year. My mother only went. 2014 was her first time. She wants to go back with me, and then when Olivia is 18, she will go for birthright. My mother and I were too old when birthright existed, which is basically Israel paying your way on a 10-day trip.
For those that don't know,
birthright,
aka me, that beautiful country does that.
Yes,
Wow.
for Jewish children born to a Jewish mother, they will pay your way for a 10-day trip, organized trip. I learned a couple of years ago as a Jewish mother with a Jewish daughter in my home that there is something along the same lines. I do not know what it's called, but I have that same trip paid for. I just have to pay for my airfare. So when I go to this
small price
in
to pay
April,
right.
I have to find out the details because I cannot even remember who it was. So that's my mission, to find out how I can go, because
you gotta go.
Jewish, Christians, anybody that goes there, they say it is just
anyone
amazing.
that I've known that gone, it can't be explained.
Yeah,
it's not explainable, and it's nothing that I'm sure it's anything that can be felt in any place that has that kind. I don't know what I don't know what it is, but there is something going on over there. History. I mean, I think I know what it is, but it's a powerful place.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really is. So I think it's on the list. But see, to me, I have to just go. But it's your motherland. You really got to go.
Absolutely.
I was able to put my hand on the house that my grandfather lived in as a kid, growing up in Italy.
Wow.
I'm a big toucher of things.
Yes.
I don't have any. My wife would be tell you she's only allowed to pack a backpack when we travel, and you can't tell a woman that.
It's tough.
So
I'd like to try that.
Well, I'll tell you, it's very rewarding because you don't really need anything anyways. If you really think about it. So
clean underwear would be important.
You'd be surprised if you get by. But yeah, so when we were there, we don't get to bring any doodads back usually, and we're not big. We don't have much. So my thing is touching things.
Right.
I was able to just touch it and hang out there, and there's an unexplainable feeling yet again. And the most important thing, and you already have this in you, but changing a geographical location is irrelevant if it's not inside of your heart to begin with. It's something I learned at a very young age. Nowhere else is going to be happy if you ain't happy here. And it sounds so like, oh, well, duh. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that.
I want to travel the world. With Olivia being a travel soccer player with Florida Elite, I also got involved with my own travel business.
I saw that.
Yes.
Want to chit-chat about it?
I'm going to.
Do you got to go potty or anything?
I'm pretty good. I'd love to share my travel.
Do you want to? I'm good if you're good, but it's a Friday show.
I love talking about travel.
Do you want to refill? I'll potty. I'll refill.
Yes.
I don't care about dead air. We don't owe anybody anything.
No.
And it's a Friday show. It's a refill break.
Yeah. I told my husband I didn't know what time I was coming home because I like this guy. We may be talking all day.
But don't, if you do got to roll, so you do your little thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to refill.
All right.
Sounds good. Let's see if we talk. They can't hear now. Kind of maybe they will, but this is the best part of the studio. Hear people now after the show. Like I was watching, but there was no one there. If you had to wait, you had to retune in.
Well, like I said, I'm learning as we go.
So you do that. If you do have to potty,
I may do a little.
All right, do the potty. I'm gonna go potty. I don't know. There are bones and stuff. You like?
I do.
Thank you.
I need new floors upstairs.
I love, these are so inexpensive.
Really?
No joke. I'm not good. These were the only time me doing floors. I didn't do them, but I mean paying for floors. And it was $2 some odd. I guess this is really good pricing. It was $2 some odd installed, purchased and installed.
I wonder if my brother would install them for me.
And I have extra ones with the name on it. The only reason why we bought this, we went around every tile store in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I had a clump of dog hair because that's what we have, these two black beasts.
Yeah.
And we used to have white floors. And my poor wife was like, you can't
Can you
see.
give me a piece?
Yeah.
You have a piece?
110%.
All right, good.
You can't see nothing.
I love it.
I mean, there could be a body on the
I
other side.
want this upstairs. I have wood floors downstairs. No intentions of changing that. But I have the carpet up the stairs, that Berber.
Yep.
And then I would like to rip that up and put this down.
No, you can't see filth if you tried. What I love. You could feel it.
Yeah.
You could feel it, but
I like it.
You could throw anything, sand, this and that. This is good. This is the fun show, man. I told you. So it's as long as you're good on time. The dirty stay out's texting me.
I am. I've got references to call today for a couple of my families. I have a local coordinator and a host mom, Suhaila. Suhaila.
That's beautiful.
She is Muslim, my first Muslim friend.
Wow.
And this is going to be her 3rd year hosting. She has 4 littles, as she calls them. Littles, her little kids. Her littles, because she has 4 adult children in Saudi Arabia and Germany. Littles. I love it.
I love it too.
So she is just an awesome mom, huge heart. And she homeschools her kids. And she has a boy from Germany and a boy from France.
Okay.
So they are 2 of the 6 kids I'm taking with me on a short Bahamas cruise, Sunday to Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, you're leaving.
Yes. Just a 2-night cruise.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So I hope
I'm sure you've been on a
I've been on a cruise. Yeah. This is my first time with Bahamas Paradise.
Okay. I never heard of that. That's the
Paradise
brand of
Bahamas.
the thing?
Yeah. It's a small, well, not small. It does a 2-night cruise.
Okay.
And it can do a cruise and stay. It's the only cruise
you like
line.
Stay on the boat?
Stay on the Bahamas, on Bahamas.
Oh, that's even more fun. You get off and get to stay on there.
Palm Bay, 3 hours south of here. We're leaving Sunday morning and getting on the boat.
Olivia's coming.
My niece is coming. My best friend Renee's coming. Another host mom, her daughter, and her exchange student. And then we're taking the extra exchange students. So we've got 6 exchange students.
These kids have got to be freaking of joy.
I hope my anxiety is less because the whole arrangement, I've got my boy from Spain coming from his DeLand family to come to my house at 6-ish.
Okay.
Then I'm bringing him to my Krista. You know Krista. So Krista has her 2 boys.
She's going?
She's not going on the cruise,
Oh.
but tonight she's taking my boy from Spain.
Oh.
Follow this. We're meeting somewhere for dinner. She has not decided yet.
Okay. TBD.
And then dinner tonight. And then she's keeping Suheila's 2 boys, my boy from Spain, and her 2 boys, 5 boys spending the night to leave for one of Orlando's parks tomorrow. She's having all those boys. I don't know how many of her crazy friends are going.
Handle it.
Oh, I know she can. These kids are gonna.
Everyone in line.
Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. And then she's dropping off the 2 boys to my other host mama's house in Port Orange to leave first thing in the morning to meet me Sunday morning. And it's crazy. I'm just trying to get everybody situated.
You're like a mini Amazon with all these logistics right now.
But
you got so many moving parts.
Being in the travel business, working with exchange students, it just works.
Isn't it funny that it does?
It does.
The crazy madness of an airport and all that, it works.
But the reason I really saw getting involved in travel was because Olivia's a soccer player and we're going to all these hotels. Why give the commissions to somebody else? I wanted the commissions.
Smart.
So I have my own travel business. I'd rather teach other people how to have their own travel business than book the travel, to be honest with you, because there's so much involved.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts. And when people aren't giving you everything you need to know, you're going back and forth and back and forth. And I've been through that.
Right.
So I feel like I'm discounting them if I don't show them how they too can have their own business.
Giving the pole, not the fish.
Yeah.
I like it.
Then you can say no if you don't see it the way I see it.
Right.
And then I'll book it. But honestly, at this point, if you want to learn how to have your own business, I will give you my travel bookings. That's how I want to do it. Yes. But it just, I figured living in Florida,
right,
all of these cruise lines, I wanted to give opportunities to my host families and students to be able to have that extra opportunity.
It's funny because this is going to be phase 2 of the show. My wife and I have been so blessed to we're on our unbelievable number of Airbnbs, and the list is, if you would have asked me when I was a 14-year-old jerk in school, do you know I remember right before graduation, I didn't know I was going to graduate, and I remember walking to a bus stop or something, I was crying, and I remember thinking, I've always believed in that big guy upstairs. He's been right. Woo-wee. Without that guy. And I'm fighting with him, and I'm saying, just please let me know if I'm going to graduate high school. It's the only thing I wanted to know. I am so glad he didn't tell me, because it's like, it worked. And my point is, looking back, I would have never thunk. And I don't think in my 30-nothings, your life is a reflection of your fiscal, where you've been and where you haven't been. It just starts here. Now, some people need to be brought to, your desert's always different than my desert, but you got to get to that desert. You have to be thirsty. And there's a lot of people that's what I try to preach when people ask me, like, how'd you find your watering hole? I got so thirsty and I didn't need a lot. And I was telling this guy the other day, I said, isn't it fascinating that we as consumers are told that you need a 6-pack, but that's the minimum. Then you can get a 300-pack. Isn't it crazy how I'm sure when we were growing up, I mean, a 24-pack of this, anything beyond that was a novelty item at like Spencer's. Now you can get like a 400-pack of White Claws delivered to you tomorrow at noon.
Wow.
And that's just it. It's more and more. That's the minimum you need. You're having a birthday party, you're going to need at least 700 White Claws. But you and I were growing up, it was like, I'm going to get whatever I can wrangle. I got 4 Bud Lights, 2 Natty Ices, and we're going to share these, right? So my point is that you put yourself in a tremendous amount of a thirsty position, then you realize even one beer will suffice in the desert. We will enjoy it, we'll split it, and we'll still be
Yep.
okay.
Absolutely.
So my point is with the travel, it's a very sensitive subject, my opinion, because online, who doesn't do the Instagram photo in front of the Coliseum?
Mm-hmm.
Da, da, da.
Yeah.
They don't show you, better word, part of my vernacular, shitting their brains out for 3 days before they waited in a line with 13,000 people to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And they got it just that they can't show the guy that fell on the ground that's getting mugged.
Mm-hmm.
That's travel, is the adversity that you overcome.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I find fascinating, is when people don't share just the beautiful side. It's checking into the Airbnb that's locked and you're not going to be able to find a place. You have to troubleshoot.
Mm-hmm.
Is that powerful? Would you agree?
I agree. I like the Airbnb. And I think we may be approaching that with the company. But for now, it's like when you're booking just online for yourself,
Right.
you don't have that control.
Right.
Where it's just so much more protected through my
Correct.
company. And that's the good feeling that I have.
You're taking that anxiety off.
Absolutely. And with the support system that we have, and then my friend that I met actually in where I live, there was an event and I met her when I had my table for the exchange students, and I saw what she did and I'm like, that's really interesting. And it took me a year that we became friends on Facebook, Kathy. And I finally said, I have to do this.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. I may not have all the answers, but I'm willing to work it out and figure it out. Who doesn't love to travel?
True.
Even
Also,
if you don't like to, you have to. Weddings, funerals, it happens.
The bad
and
side stuff.
if there are and a lot of people don't know this, if there are commissions built into everything you buy,
everything
from concert tickets. I'm going to a great concert this year with my husband.
Where? Which one?
In the Motley Crue, Poison,
aren't they
Joan
coming back?
Jett. There's 4 of them. I got tickets.
But it's the whatever they call it, the
reunion.
Yeah, isn't it? I could have swore that's the big hoopla about it.
It's in Orlando, and I was like, "Bring me back, '80s, just bring me back." So we're going to that.
The hair. Yeah. We're going out.
So I bought us tickets, and I earned commission for buying tickets that I was going to do.
How do you buy your tickets?
Being a travel agent, I have accounts with everything from cruises to Marriott. I got Disney.
You got the back door.
So you're getting, it's basically, because I've been struggling with going on for my master's degree.
Oh, wow.
When I was working at the VA, I liked education. I don't like spending the money on the education. So I was struggling and honestly going back and forth. When I decided I wasn't going to do it, then I still had that urge. Well, when I started my own travel business for a whopping $200, and that's basically 2 businesses in one. I won't go into the details there, but you're getting your master's degree in travel,
right?
And it's never ending. So if you want to focus on destination weddings or cruises or hotels, when you get certified, for lack of a better word, in that program, like I went for Marriott, and Marriott, because we travel and using the hotels all the time, I got my certification to Marriott. Well, there's perks to go along with it. So, or fam trips to get yourself familiar with a destination, and you get it for cheaper. So there's so many other things besides making the commission. My friends have gone on $25 1-week vacations. $25. I'm not there yet because I can't do it all the time with my schedule, soccer. But I just feel so much better doing it myself and having that control. And a lot of people like to book their own travel. So own your own business and do it and just make the commissions. But I feel better. I would be discounting you if I didn't show you how you can do the same thing. And that's the way that I look at it. Well, I'm not selling.
No, well,
let me just show you.
Once again, it's about changing your. It's very. It's to me. It's good about changing your zip code for a minute, and that's what I think is probably been the biggest growing thing to me is just realize that we're all a bunch of astronauts and no one really has any idea what we're doing on the Earth. I keep saying this over and over and over again, and people always seem to. I was just as surprised to hear it the first time that Joe Rogan talks about 3 human beings ago. It was the 1700s. Imagine that. And there were kings beheading their 5th wife.
5th wife.
Imagine that. And we think that we know what we're doing.
Mm-mm.
We have no clue.
I'll never say that.
Yeah.
That I know what I'm doing. No. I'm just going along.
And all the brightest, all the people that I'm attracted to, they always basically say that some way, somehow. Like, listen, I really don't know what I'm doing, but this is how I'm getting by. And once again, that milk and honey factor. Like,
I left that secure job for less money to follow a passion I have and to have that flexibility for my daughter.
How long did you marinate on that decision?
It was March and it happened April 1. So
you didn't have much time.
If it was 2 weeks, and it was funny because I was at Olivia's soccer practice in Palm Coast, and the CEO called me, and I just happened to like just complain about how things work at the VA level, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but I just have been so frustrated. Yeah. And it's like anything you do is just not good enough. And it was just stressing out. And I said, what the heck? Right. Let's just try it. Because then it's going to give me the time to be out in the community where you need to be. And you need to show face. And you need to show my company logo. And you need to educate. And word of mouth, that's how it's going to happen. And I'm seeing the difference. Have you been kind of, now once again, your husband is a Flagler salt, like, so he knows that you jump, people say how high, like they just know it's a small town. Have you been surprised to see how fast the wildfire can go, good and or bad? For instance, how fast it's happening in your own, like right now? It's not fast enough for me. Right now, I'm starting to see it. Okay. Because how long has it been? It hasn't been that long, has it? April 1. I know. I just want things too fast. I know. Settle down. I've been enjoying the freedom. Right. I've been enjoying taking care of my health, and learning along the way. Like, there's a lot of hiccups. If everything was the same across the board with all the schools, it would be so much easier. Like, if there was a template of how it goes, it's not like that. Of course. So with the kids getting involved in a sport, they need extra stuff, extra paperwork, but they've got their physical, they got their sports physical. Now they need their Italian or German transcripts for them, or else they can't compete. So there's things about that. So each time I speak to different parents, I'm learning new things, because you can't know it all. You can't know it all. So it's a learning and go. And like with Krista, I'm learning a lot. They are busy. And she's hosting the 2 kids, and those kids are loving life. They are just good people to be around. I forget. She doesn't have kids. She doesn't have kids in the home. She has. They're all grown up. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I just don't remember her talking about a child figure to some capacity. Not in the house. Interesting. At one time she had, So well, she's like a machine. She is a machine. She doesn't count. She's a cheat code. Yeah. And a good, all this. Boss lady. Oh, yeah. Boss lady Krista. Actually, if anything, my love tank is empty on her, because I know she's too cool right now and I want her back. Let me tell you, funny story about Krista. I'm seeing her tonight. I'll give her a hug. Yeah. And don't like hold on obnoxiously a little bit long when she tries to pull away. Be like, okay. Funny story about Krista. My cousin Krista in Georgia. Okay. Months ago. Actually, I think it was March. She says, you got to contact Krista Goodrich. So didn't know who she was or what she stood for or anything like that. I sent Krista a Facebook message that she never responded to. So, is there anything that stings that much anymore in life? Well, sometimes people don't see it. What did it say, scene? I just let it. I let it go. I let it go. Whatever. Go to an event. Got her. At News Journal. And at the end of the night, I get introduced to Krista, not knowing it's Krista. This is the best. So the card she gives me, I still don't know. And it was like, she found out what I did and she goes, I'll host too.
Boom.
I'm going, what? That doesn't happen like that.
Right,
Is she serious? I never take it for serious.
Right.
So I go home, look her up. Oh my gosh. I
This is
sent you
her.
a message in March and this is you. So go to her house, beautiful home, animal people. Yeah.
That's what
Then
makes
to find
everybody
out another friend of mine is in her circle. Funny. It's just crazy. So Krista went to the same school as my cousin Krista. And my cousin Krista went to school with Krista Goodrich's sister. Because my cousin's a few years younger than me and Krista's a few years younger than my cousin. So funny. Georgia.
Yeah, that's her home.
Georgia.
That's her home.
So she's been to Georgia, brings the boys to the farm in Georgia. The boys are having a blast. They're not going to want to go home.
No.
Mm-mm.
That's got to be tough when they want. Oh, on the animal note, isn't it funny with the people with the animals when people are animal people?
Yeah.
Hairy animal people too.
Yeah, we connect.
Not dainty. Not like in a cage. I'm talking about when they're like they own the house.
Yeah. Oh no, my mother's house. If you don't like animals, just don't even come.
It doesn't
because the animals. Yeah.
We almost were going to let ours out for the show. They used to be out.
You know, my parents owned a pet shop for 18 years.
You told me.
Right. So I grew up in a pet shop.
We stopped doing it. The first handful of episodes, I would just had them out because I didn't really know. I didn't know what was. I still don't really know what I'm doing, but like I just didn't know to lock them up. And then when they get crunching on the bone, well, first of all, they would be like, "Excuse me,
sniffing up on me.
Your show. This is my."
Yeah.
They would want to be. So I said, "All right," and not everyone is.
No, I know. I've got family members like that. Yep, I know.
They belong outside.
Right.
Dude, they weren't at my house. Yeah. But I think it does show a lot of that the pets are running TikTok. You want to become TikTok famous. Rule of thumb, unfortunately, be a girl. Sorry, you know that. Mm-hmm. Camille, I was just taking pee potty. And you know what she said in there? She goes, she's so discreet. She goes, it's when you least try, you get the most likes. And it's true, the same thing in life. But she's part of my vernacular about whoring out the dogs on TikTok.
Right.
Just, you know all the funny TikToks with the booping and the dooping and all that. But people love their petties.
I know it. My mother has the cutest little. Oh, she rescued them from New York from a family that actually lived across the street from us growing up.
What are they? Just a little muddies?
They're a mix between. Oh God, I always forget to call them sheep, Shih Tzu and. I can't think of it. Anyway, I can't stand them. They're small, barky.
Oh, barky
She
ones.
always get the barky ones, but they're a boy and a girl, Minnie and Mindy and Mork and Mindy.
Oh, like the
Mork
show.
and Mindy. I have.
Is that the one Robin Williams was on?
Yes. I have a Mickey and Minnie cats, so I have to get my name straight. She's got Mork and Mindy. I can't stand how cute they are.
They're just. Are they your mother's like?
Oh, they're attached to my parents, and they're similar. She has a little bit of different coloring, and she turns her head like this with those gorgeous eyelashes. And I go, I can't. Oh my gosh,
you'll meet them. Supermodel.
Oh, you'll meet them. I promise you, gorgeous. They just are yappy.
So, do you have brothers and sisters?
My brother's 3 years younger.
You guys all have the eyes. Did you get the eyes?
I am the only one with these eyes. My parents and my brother are brown.
What are they? Hazels?
They were blue on my birth certificate, but depending on my coloring and my mood, gray.
Alien.
Gray, hazel, blue.
Gray is totally not a description for those that can't see it. They're not gray. They're like an alien species. They're like morphing in color. They're nice.
And then my husband has hazel, and then Olivia has blue. But she thinks gray.
She got the blue, like blue.
She's bluer than me, but she still thinks it's. I think she's got that hazel around the pupil. Oh. But my parents brown, my brother brown, the hair brown. My mother went the in gray, beautiful.
It's like it just looks good.
It looks good.
I'm hoping it's happening. I keep joking with the lady that cuts my hair. Not lady, she's a sweetheart. She's my age, younger than me. And I keep joking around. I'm like, listen, whatever you put in that brush, something's happening here. And I joke with her because it's happening. This getting older thing is really unique, isn't it? When you know that, like, I think one of the most mentally confusing things is that we never, the human species 100 years ago didn't grow up with seeing themselves constantly. You were only what you were. I mean, maybe there's a photo on your mother's wall, but it wasn't on your Facebook page that a photo from last year looks like, who's that guy? And sometimes they look a little bit better because you're like, I was couple pounds a little lighter there, or your hair just
my hair changes me. I cut my hair for basic training in 96, chopped it all off.
How choppy? Like butch?
Short. Not as butch as Demi in
the thing.
Yeah. Not that short. Not shaved. But it was boy short. And I've grown it long. And now I like it short because it's easy, because I don't like to spend time on it. But everybody wants me to go down to here. So I'm going to try.
I've noticed Camille's had to teach me this. I'm such a hair guy. Like I just love women's hair. And I always be like, your hair looks great today, or this, that. But I have noticed how fragile your women's hairs are. And like some of it's another species. It's two things. You have the woman and then you have the hair. Yeah. And you guys are in
I have a better side.
See, I
don't like this side because
it's a constant battle. There is there's a lot of good days. There's a lot of bad days. Yeah. There's hair washing days.
Don't wash too much.
I know.
Less is best.
And I've had to remember, don't always because I'm very personable and I love to play, and I'll be like, do this one, to go like this way. And I've had to learn, don't do that because you don't know. She could be going through something.
Right.
But the women's hair is a special.
I'm not sensitive.
No?
I don't think so. Well, I may say it.
Well, you have a better side.
I do.
See.
Yeah. But my husband wants it long, so I'm going to go a little bit longer.
I think all dudes want that long hair.
Yeah.
And that's where she had to teach me, because I would be like some of my besties 2 decades plus, and I'm like, girl, let's get that length. And she's like, don't do that anymore.
But when you get to a certain age, I think if it's too long, it's not right. That's my opinion. Like, I like my mother with her hair. She's got that Lisa Rinna.
Okay.
With the lips.
Oh, yeah.
That Lisa Rinna. She had that kind of cut that she has, and she went with the gray, and it's awesome. My 91-year-old grandmother just started letting her gray come through, and it's got the brown on the tips that looks really good.
It's like a movie star look.
I've never seen her gray
Betty
before.
White turned 98 today. I don't know if I don't know if it's spam because you ever see those? I feel like it's her birthday every day lately. I didn't
see it yet.
Yeah, supposedly she's 98, and
she's amazing.
Testifies it to like something really cute, like waffles, vodka, and something funny. Wow. But it's interesting, this adulting thing, and knowing that would you, if you could prolong your life to like beyond what's normal, would you do it if you were
at this stage? Probably not.
No,
because of my body, my neck, my shoulder, my back. I have degenerative disc disease, herniations, bulging discs.
Is this all from the military, maybe?
Before the military, I had a knee injury when I was playing basketball in high school.
Oh, wow.
Then I was in a car accident when I was 16 and banged my knees into my car. Oh, so I have problems. So I have to be careful. But like, I work out with Bamboo Athletics in Ormond Beach. Love that. I do 3 days a week.
Are you up to 3?
I've been doing 3, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then on my Tuesdays and Thursdays, I either walk, run, or bike.
Smart.
But I have to listen to my body, because in the past, I would stop when I had pain or when I hurt myself. Mm-hmm. Now I'm listening to my body and I'm taking it easy and continuing. I know I can work through it. Like, with a lot of things, I can't, the outside of my right knee, I have to be careful.
Okay.
I was on 3 medications. I'm on no medications now. I'm taking glucosamine, chondroitin,
my wife
some other natural names. Stuff.
Yeah.
So,
did you work out today?
I did.
Good for you.
I did. I do a 6:30 class. And
what's wake up for you?
6 o'clock.
Unprovoked?
Oh, I got to set the alarm.
Okay.
If I have something to do early, I would die and take the 5:30 class. But that 5:30 class is busier.
Yeah,
the 6:30 is good. The 10:30 class is too late where it breaks up my day. But if I have to do it, I would do it. Those are the 3 morning times.
I don't know if this is a norm for getting older, but for me, when there is an obligation, especially travel, if you have to be out of the house at 9, I'm a 2-hour guy now.
You need 2 hours?
I know.
Interesting.
It's weird. A lot of it is, once again, just to be very honest with the show, you got to take that morning shit. You can't leave the house. You ever meet
you and Steve? That's his thing.
Big.
I'm not that regular.
You ever have those people that you're not?
I'm not that regular. He is.
If
clockwork.
I can't leave. It's a way that she knows.
You're connected with Steve right there.
Like if you say, babe, we got to fly out. Like we got to be at the airport at some time. There's no leaving the house before
that's funny.
We are clear, because there's no way I'm
funny.
pulling over to a side of a Shell station, or no way.
See, in me, I squat. If I'm in public,
You're good to go?
I taught Olivia.
Are you okay with this, by the way?
Absolutely.
All right.
I taught Olivia to wipe the seat down, to cover the seat, to squat over the seat. Triple protection. And she does it. And when people see her, like even wash her hands and take the paper towel to open the door, I've raised her right.
Good genes. That is funny. I saw that actually on a TikTok the other day. The appropriate way to use a public bathroom, and it was a joke because this dude was like in a biohazard suit. Isn't it weird that you use someone else's home bathroom, you're pretty nice, and you go to a public bathroom and you're just pissing on the wall. People are just like, screw it, he did it, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
So weird.
Yeah, no, it's funny like
There's
that.
A very dangerous.
That's why I just have to go wherever I gotta go.
Yeah, so you're a different
I'm not on
breed,
that cycle.
So Chase and I would probably.
Totally.
I thought it was just. I think it's just like see, when you were younger, for me anyways, you throw me anywhere. I'll take a poop on an airplane. That is not happening now. No way. I need my baby wipes. There's a process. Is he a white man? Me too. Don't throw him in the toilet though. You got to do the like a girl's disposal stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah, the plumber.
And our bathroom, we don't have a door on it. We have this big bathroom with our closet in the bathroom and a big. I remember when we first bought the house, Olivia was 5. The shower, she goes, "You can take a pot. You can have a party in this shower." You know, one of those big showers. But so it's
the bathroom is the best place for me. When we travel, I love to. We don't know if it's going to happen. We see it on a photo, but I don't like being alone. I don't want to have to go away. So I want to. That's a lot of the talkage. I would call it shower talk. Yeah. She doesn't come in the shower. Yeah. It's just be around.
I hear you.
It's kind of like you're debriefing for the day or whatever it was. I'm a shower at nighter guy.
I need a morning
shower. Mm-hmm. I'm a shower at nighter because usually I'll swim, so I don't need. And I get in a lot.
My student does the nighttime
night shower.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a swimmer, dude. So as long as I need to be wet.
You're swimming in the ocean?
Yeah. I'm not doing like a triathlon. I'm talking about a morning baptism. Okay. Get wet, shower, rinse off at the hose. Mm-hmm. But I've also noticed this too, by consequence of being raised in a very naked family. I was always naked. We were always naked, all of us. That's not normal, I think.
I walk around naked. Yeah. And it's funny because my daughter is no way like that. She is very protective of, oh my goodness, with me. But that makes me think, okay, if you're doing that with me, then you'll be like that everywhere.
It's funny because in some fun, bar banters and those, like, I tell people that I remember I used to shower with my grandfather or my uncle. When my brother and I would travel to go stay with friends and relatives, we showered together. Yeah. Until I was pretty much, I want to say, I guess you say this now, and people are like, but like I think like almost right into middle school and near the end, like showers were like, come on, we're showering together. And I remember I would go like this, and they would wash my hair, and like that was it. We weren't allowed to go shower separately. And even when we got older too, my brother and I, we had a shower together. There was no separate shower. We didn't get bathroom time.
Wow, yeah,
it was it. And my mom and we were always naked. We had a pool too. I think if you're in a wet environment, it's by consequence of, like, we would be in the pool and my mom wasn't going to wash my bathing suit every day.
Right.
Or like even hang it. Right. It was just go in the pool.
Right.
So there's been this, I'm naked a lot in the backyard, and there's been a newer acquisition of a neighbor. I'm wearing the whitey tighties with colors on them to try to be somewhat polite to
what?
me.
With colors?
Well, they're whitey tighties, but
Yeah.
they have the color in the whitey tight. Like they're
Okay, colored.
They're like a cool whitey tighty.
Okay, gotcha.
But they're the whitey tighty.
Right,
They're a
right.
thong. So, but I try not to like. It's not like a girl or something.
So you have
It's
fence back there.
I have a fence.
Okay.
And you have to, if you want to see it, you really have to kind of make the effort.
Yeah.
And this guy's kind of making the effort. And I'm like,
Oh.
all right, well, I don't want to. He's just on his dock up there in the back. So I'm like, well, I mean, I kind of was here first. You know, there's a weird unwritten rule with neighbors.
Yeah.
Like I was here first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm always out in the back.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think when I joined the military when I was 24, you have to shower with everybody.
So it's like.
So maybe when I get married in my 30s and have my daughter, I'm just naked,
But there's a lot of, when you do travel too and you get out of the States, I don't know what it's like for, well, she said it was kind of like this, but most bathrooms, the minute you get out of the States, you're basically like touching each other. Men's bathrooms, especially European bathrooms. It's full blown. It's a trough most of the time, especially soccer stadiums, things of that nature. If you have a problem being around other just nudity,
right.
It doesn't. You're going to have a really hard time.
Interesting.
Yeah, the bathroom is literally meant to take the shit.
Right.
To go pee pee.
Yeah.
You're literally shouldered most of
Wow.
them. And sure, it's always different. You go to your higher end stuff, your 5-star stuff. Yes, you get a bathroom.
Right.
But the general folk, restaurants, stadiums.
And when I was in Thailand in November, we had to pay to use the bathroom.
That's a common too. Imagine selling that to an American. You have to pay to go pee potty.
I didn't know, we had to pay with baht. Our 30.
Was there someone standing there or was it electronic?
It was like a box. There was a box.
I broke the law in the UK. There, you have to do the same thing. You have to pay to go potty. But if it's all electronic and you had to put your little thingy in there. I never had cash. That's another thing about travel. You don't even really need, depending on where you're at. Most of the bigger cities don't. It's all. So I had no cash and I had no pounds. So you go like this underneath the little. There was a laser to the door, like a subway thing.
Right. Oh.
And she didn't do that. She will never break.
Right.
No law. So we went to the bathrooms and she's like, I went in and I was like, you didn't go? But someone ended up letting her in because it's such a futile cost. It's like 25.
Yeah, it's minimal.
Cents.
Right.
But it is fascinating. You have to go pay to go potty.
I was like, what? And then I have to remember that on my travels. When I travel again, to bring wipes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
wipes are
that would have been great. Somebody had wipes for us because they didn't have to.
Do you know that all my soccer ducklings, I have wipes in my bag. I'm ready.
It's awesome.
I'm ready. I don't even have kids.
Yeah.
And wipes
are set.
Duct tape and wipes should be in every man's soccer bag. You never know when you need duct tape. Cleat break.
Yeah.
Soccer goals break.
Right. Yeah.
See, and I'm the one facilitating all this. Very little thank yous, but there's a method behind the madness. Who's bringing everything?
I am looking very forward to Tuesday. That's like the last day of my cruise, but I'm looking forward to Tuesday.
I may tell you to come Thursday.
I can't.
Oh.
Thursday she's in. If you want me to skip Tuesday.
No, it's not that I skip. We're going through a new season right now.
Okay. Because Thursday's her Jacksonville day.
All right, fine. Bring her Tuesday. My point, Tuesdays have been a little bit not as the quantity of folk has been lower. So the games have been not as, but maybe it'd be better for her.
Anything one-on-one.
Okay.
A smaller group. It doesn't have to be a scrimmage.
Worst case, even if it ends up just being me and a select few people, I still would love to just touch a ball with her and have her ask me any questions.
I want her to get more comfortable with playing the boys. She feels intimidated.
Yeah? Well, not with me, she won't.
And I don't want her to. I want her to realize that she has just everything that she needs.
Right.
And she needs to play with better to make her better.
Correct. It is fun once in a while to play with people that suck more than you on the pitch because you're like, woo-hoo.
She did that with rec. And my husband was her coach for rec and did a great job. But then it was like, okay, we need to step it up.
Yeah.
So she
it
needs
is good.
More.
It's funny. Once again, it's like who wants to go to the gym and not and throw up, but it's actually good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hope you throw up, but you get my point. That brink really pumping that heart. And then you come home and you rip the muscles and you get your growth bigger. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's tough. So the reason we're saying that is bring her still. Mm-hmm. But there's a new season going on because I've been doing this so long. And just it's so funny. I told my wife, just like with everything in life, everything has a season, right?
Mhm.
And right now we're in a season where the quantity of people have dwindled a bit because there's a new league in town, which is awesome. So I'm really happy for that.
What age?
It's men's. It's like a men's open league. It's like a division something league. They're going to be traveling and playing.
Okay.
Most of them are 18, 20.
Okay.
They're my young bucks.
Okay. Because I have 2 of my students, maybe 3, I would ask them if they'd be interested in playing and coming out as well. The high school boys.
They're more than welcome.
Germany. I don't know if Clement would do that from France, but the German boys.
They're more than welcome. And we're
Yeah.
like I said, even last week we had a kid as young as I want to say 7, and that kid is going to be a prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing is, I don't know what his nationality is, but it's his dad's mean to him. His nationality, like his
dad's mean to him nationality
in a good way. Like
yeah.
There's no like don't tackle my son. He's like get him.
Yes.
Like he needs to. And
Absolutely.
Of course we all on a 50-50 ball when we were going up to a kid. He's literally knee high.
Wow.
And he's
yeah.
But we don't go up and tackle, but we also don't hesitate to get the ball from him.
Right.
And we're not like, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's learning and to body up. And if he's learning that
now, yeah.
So, and there's good politics out there. No one's trying to kill each other.
Right.
And there maybe once in a blue moons is that guy.
You need to look at Olivia, how she's not aggressive enough.
That's
her problem.
That happens, and she'll get over that. What will happen is, unfortunately, earmuffs, mom, but it's just going to be a really hard tackle or two, and she'll figure it out. I just had that happen over this tournament.
Not the body in, just sticking the foot in.
It's just the term is 50-50. So you have a decision and I have a decision, and there's a ball there, and who's going. I call it 60-40. Because I go for your jugular. Now I don't try to hurt you, but I'm going to get that ball. Mm-hmm. And if I don't get the ball, it ain't coming. It's not going behind me. So I'm a defender by consequence of just, that's me. I've always been, this sport evolves so uniquely where you're either defender by choice or defender because you're getting older. I was a defender by choice. Everyone will play defense in their career because we have guys out there that are 60. And they sometimes start to lose their, and you don't have to necessarily be the fastest as a defender, but you still need to have your fuerte. But so my point is, I'm by choice defender. So I'm not there reluctantly. But I had this last tournament. It's not always, but there's always usually that one guy, one game, and we had one. They were wearing Juventus kit, and I'm known as the player I have to orchestrate the team, and I always make sure prior to the game. I like to compliment and talk with the other guys, which is not normal. Mm-hmm. Most of it's like, there's the opposition. I'm more the like, man, you look good today. Yeah. How you doing? And they're all wearing Juve kits, which is one of my, they just look dope. The newest kit. And these are all grown men investing in this stuff. So this stuff wasn't given. So you're like, hey man, good for you guys. We're wearing like ratty tatty.
Yeah.
We're coming from all over the state.
Right.
This one boy. Probably beginning of the second half. No, yeah, right before the being part of the second half, goes in on me, chops my legs right out. I had made a move on him. I had tackled, got the ball. I go to leave, and yeah. And at that level, we're not playing. We all have to work. So I go down, and it's okay. I'm all about the hard tackle. I expect the apology and like, yo, I got you, because I'm going to see you later that day anyways. It's a tournament. It's like a round robin.
Right.
I'm down.
Walk away.
He's out. I don't know who it was.
Oh.
So I literally, I won't say everything that I said, all the little funny, but I got up and I basically was saying, who was that? The beautiful game, the game never stops. But in the midst of that, I'm literally saying to my team, who was that? Loud enough so that the opposition can't hear me. And from a distance, he's like, it was me. And I says, you can't say I'm sorry. And all this is happening as mid-play. And he said, I don't know what he said, but it was a no. And I says, you're a disgrace to the jersey.
Interesting.
Because that's disgusting.
Yeah.
And he paid dearly. And he ended up apologizing. And that's why my guys like playing with me is that I didn't have malice. I didn't go irrationally tackle.
Right.
But the next 50-50, it was a 60-40.
Right.
And you were on the ground.
Yeah.
Oops. And I don't hurt. It wasn't, I did not,
Yeah.
I would never break, tear or this, but you learned.
Right.
And that's what she'll learn.
Yeah.
She'll learn that I'm going to go in harder because it's my ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's about. It's about always, it's the silver lining to it, is always playing the ball. Don't play the guy. And that's what he did. He played the guy.
Yeah.
So that's where the malice is. If you're not me, that 60-40 is I'm going to get the ball, whatever happens after that. And that's actually the clean way of playing.
What I see her, and I'm not a soccer player,
Mm-hmm.
but when I watch her play, to me, she's focusing so much on her area.
Right.
She's a mid attacker, and she places the ball phenomenally, but she's not attacking the ball.
Yeah.
Like she'll just let it go, or she'll just stop. That's what I see as a parent. And I think she should be doing more.
When they're playing at this age, is there someone on the team that's being pointed as a captain?
There is a captain.
Is she or he vocal?
I don't hear her.
Then she's not a captain, unfortunately. The biggest issue with most soccer teams that I've noticed all around the world that I've played with, not professionally, but just street play, someone has to direct. And it's sometimes not even the person that you thought was. They're not sometimes the best. I'm not the best footballer by no means. I'm usually, but my gift is doing my job good and also making sure that every single one of my know that they're doing good too.
Right.
And making sure that when they're not, there's no reprimand, but let's get it again. Reset, drop, move to the left. Come on, let's go. Over there, ball's coming in. Come on.
That sounds like what our goalie should. Our goalie is most vocal.
That's good. And goalies can be captains. It's very rare because they're only seeing in one dimension.
Right.
They don't see behind them.
Right.
And the game is a 3-dimensional, sometimes 4. It's the most beautiful. It's nonstop. There's more going on off the ball than there is on it. So what happens is, by consequence of playing it more, you can't teach this. What happens is you start to pay attention to things that can't be taught. For instance, if I were to ask you to do something that you do well, you wouldn't even know that the 10 steps that you wouldn't even have told me the 10 first steps you took. It would have just happened. For instance, let's just use cooking as an example, because I'm really bad at cooking. Really? So if I were to ask my wife, like, how did you get to this point? She'd be like, well, you add this to the thing. I literally need to be told where the stove, the stove degree was, because I stopped there.
Yeah.
425 what? Preheat what? But to people that don't realize it, that's, you didn't realize that 425 is for the bread. To a footballer, the same applies, that they don't sometimes realize that it starts before the ball's even been kicked off. Your demeanor, your attitude, how you're presenting yourself, your team. It's my duty to do that as a captain, is to make sure that everyone is ready for this 90 minutes to disappear and to fight. And it's the most beautiful thing in the world. I'm sure you can tell that it's the most precious.
I never watched it before.
Really?
And now I watch it.
Falling in love. Do you have it on a lot at the house?
Yeah.
Good.
She needs to watch it.
It should.
Yeah.
If this isn't on.
Yeah.
I don't have TV.
Right.
I don't have cable. I will always. She can literally do it too. Put YouTube on. Just type in highlights.
Yeah.
And just have it on.
Right.
Just have it on.
Yeah.
If it becomes her crack, I don't know if it is, but
it's not there yet.
Okay.
When it's on, when Steve's watching it, I'm watching it. We're telling her to look, because that's how you learn. You're in it. You're watching it. You're learning. And I mean, she's got a lot to go, but she just has a natural ability. And he and I are not soccer players.
Right.
He's a baseball player. And that's where he's going today, down to Vieira for a baseball tournament.
Not for himself. He's playing?
For himself. He's playing.
So healthy.
Yeah.
That makes
He loves it. He goes out. That's his workout. He goes to the batting cage and works out with his friend.
I feel like thank God for sports, because it's the only thing left for those that aren't hunter-gatherers in real life, because none of us are hunter-gatherers. Very select few. There are still those that do it, that hunt what they eat. I love those people. But for the most part, we're just sitting around like astronauts, floating around.
I have to keep moving.
The sports are so healthy. Like I do my 2 tournaments a year in addition to playing 3 times a week. It's my...
Where is your next trip?
I'm in this, like, I'm not going anywhere for a while. So
Baloney.
I know.
You're lying to yourself.
Well, the missus had planted this. She wanted to do the UK, so we did that. And I'm not a cold man.
That's when I contacted you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a cold guy. I literally bought 1 jacket, 1 pair of pants, I had no shoes. I had to buy a pair of shoes, and I was ready. Like first day of school.
Was it cold?
It didn't rain one time.
Really? Shocking.
All the many moons we were
You're
there.
lucky.
We get there, and those that know me well, I always joke around doing a summer dance. It's like really do dance in the morning outside. I love it. And I joke around that I love the heat. I don't mind the Africa heat. I want it. As long as I don't got to dress up that day. It's tough.
Right.
But for the most part, yeah. So that was a tough trip only because just wearing clothes a lot. By the third,
you were there for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh.
The walking around, I'm hot. Are you a hot person?
I love hot, not dripping hot.
No, meaning like right now, like I have it on like 71,
I'm
72.
comfortable.
Okay, me too. See, I'm always hot. Like literally, if I get in a car, especially in a cold environment, the steam's always on my window. It's weird. Everyone else is like cool. I'm always hot. So my point is, walking around a city, and then you walk in and it's cold, and the heat's on. I think heat should just be eliminated.
No heat. Yeah.
I don't need no heat. And you'd walk into a pub or something, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I started walking around with just my soccer pants and a t-shirt, and people are like, what?
What are they wearing?
They all look good. Europeans look good.
Yeah,
man.
they dress nice.
They make us look like
schleps.
It's so funny how bad there were times where I was like, they're not going to let us in here, but the credit card's still swiped. So they were like,
yes.
Okay. But
there's
they were definitely like, this guy's homeless. Has to be. I only had 1 shirt.
And just
my wife deals with all this. Yeah. She's something special. But no, I don't know. The next trip, here's where I'm thinking. I'm going back. I had ran through the wire with a lot of tropical. Have you been to Aruba? I've been super blessed with being all throughout the Caribbean, and I like homey Caribbean. I don't need no pizzazz.
Right.
We've done the sandal stuff. That's great. There's a time and place for it. There's a lot to be said, which is finding the hood, find the peoples, just get in their community and act as if, be there, learn their flow, eat what they eat.
Absolutely. Live in it.
You will, and once again, my like fast pass to life is, where is the soccer? Where is it?
Yeah.
And they're like, it's over there. And then boom. And bring a soccer ball wherever you travel.
Yes.
Rule of thumb. And leave it there. You just made a family friend.
Yes.
So I bring a soccer ball wherever I go. And Aruba.
Really?
The best.
Is that your next trip?
Been there.
Okay.
A couple times. I love, the Caribbean is not really notorious for soccer.
Right.
Jamaica a little bit. But most of it's actually baseball, cricket. Big influence of that kind of stuff, which is nothing wrong. But I also love the Latin. So Aruba is on top of Colombia. So there's a huge influx of Colombians, aka soccer, aka beautiful people. And most of the Caribbean islands are very deserty. You know that until you get by the coastline. Right. But Aruba would be my highest, most recommended place to go if you're looking for Caribbean / like a good culture, because it's not very touristy there.
Right.
One end of the island is all the cruise ships and all that. And then if you go all the way to the southern eastern part, it turns into a little mini Flagler. No buildings. It's a very small town.
My parents have been going to the Cayman Islands since mid-'80s.
That's their zone.
It has grown crazy. So we were there last 2 summers ago. And we're going again this summer. But my parents have a place there. Awesome. And they go like 3 times a year. But we're going this summer. And my daughter is a little fish down there. And
I love it.
I will tell her to bring her soccer ball so
Bring
she
it.
can be
Deflate
kicking
it.
around. Yeah.
Deflate it, fit it in. If it doesn't fit, something else needs to go.
Yeah.
Get it in that bag and leave it there.
Yeah.
She'll have a blast, and like whatever community she meets with that ball. And that's the thing, the ball speaks for you.
She wants friends down there. So I joined a Facebook group of Cayman people, and
just have her literally go. Obviously at her age, she can't just go wandering off. Wherever you walk to, like you're going to dinner that day, just literally, as ridiculous as it sounds, just bring the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
And someone will go,
absolutely.
There's kids right now. Because I cannot believe how hard it is to find technically a pitch. They're not pitches, but like it is tough to find. Like Barcelona, very hard to find. Italy, very hard to find. London, very hard to find. They weren't there. You had to, and with that ball, she'll be like,
yeah, standing out, standing proud.
And wait till they see the touch on it, which I know she has. They'll be like, can you come tomorrow?
Yeah.
And you'll be, Mom.
And she'll be dreaming. Yeah, that's what she wants to do.
Can I play?
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. I just hope right now, once again, not to get negative Nancy with it, but I just hope that she stays the course through the noise, because the noise is coming, Mom. It's coming. I'm sorry to tell you, but it's coming. And it's there to stay.
I just think as parents that we need to help her stay strong.
Stay strong. And once again, not your thoughts. That's, if I was told that and it's nothing against my parents or anything, but they weren't like athletes or anything. They weren't into that. Yeah. If I could have been told, don't quit. They all jealous. And I had nothing to be. That's the thing. I sucked. I still suck. But I do a good damn job, my one job. And that's all that matters. And that's what a real footballer, and it's so funny, it applies to all things in life. You don't have to score the goals. And that's one thing that's happened in all sports. Who doesn't want to score the goals?
Right.
Come on, man. But not everyone's going to score the goals, but that's
teamwork.
Teamwork.
Can't win without teamwork.
But, we did it again. Look, we did another. We chopped it's 12:30.
Oh my gosh.
So look, let's reiterate.
It's crazy.
We got the event, new summer. Oh, let's do this too. Are you as ridiculously personable as me, where if someone just wants to straight up meet up to talk about this, you're cool with it?
Totally. So. Whether it's wine or coffee at the beach.
It doesn't need to.
Like my families I met last night.
Right.
I'm like, we're not here to spam you. Put your information down. I'll call you. I'll email you, give you a blip. But really, you just need to talk to really get a feel for what is involved.
But you're not, I'm sure there's standards and systematic processes. But if someone says, hey, I just want to kind of like behind the scenes talk about this, and I don't even want my significant knowing right now because they're freak them out, but can I just chitty chatty with you? Can we meet at Yes Coffee? Something. Yes. You're cool with all that.
It's very cool.
Doesn't have to be at a Chickadoom.
And you know what? People are afraid of the 10-month commitment. We have what we call emergency families or backup families where their application is completely done. And if we have to move a student for any reason, that's a possibility. And then we also have welcome families.
Amazing.
And welcome families is you're doing all the background checks and home visits and pictures. And that is for the people that are afraid of the commitment.
Right.
You're choosing the student and testing the waters, and you're considered a welcome family. And if you are thrilled with how things are going and you want to keep the student, you keep the student. You get first dibs.
Right.
But then you're still considered a welcome family that every week I'm checking in, and we are continuing to find that permanent family. Then we move on. But it could take some time. Right. I've had kids on my couch, but we want to keep the kids in school.
Correct.
So sometimes it takes a little bit longer to find that permanent family. So there are so many options, and you're never stuck.
It's not a tattoo.
It's not a tattoo. And that's, again, the thing a lot of people don't realize. The busiest families, the laid-back families, a lot of our Asian students are quiet and content.
Right.
My student is content with just relaxing. Right. She's not athletic.
It's not constant stimulus.
Yeah. There are students for all kinds of families.
It's really awesome. Yeah. And once again, irregardless of even the business aspect of what you do, you are awesome. Man,
I love meeting new people.
If you could bottle a little bit of it, you could sell it. But that's not, that's what makes it. That's what makes wanting to be around people like you important. And I once again, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. I really appreciate you and for
I
coming.
appreciate
And like,
you.
you were so not, as the show grows, and there's obviously a pedigree of people that are like, no way. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But
This
you were
is
just like,
this is natural for me. I love talking about my family, soccer, students, exchange students, travel. That is my life 24/7. I can't even see myself without my phone because I need to be available for my kids and my family.
Mhm.
I saw I missed a call from one of my host moms this morning. Didn't hear the phone. Called her right back. Had a couple of questions. Answered it.
Right.
And I feel good that that's what makes me different. My company different is the local support.
Right.
And you're not alone throughout the whole process from beginning to end.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're a human. You're not trying to look like you're a Forbes 5 bazillion and there's like 37 protocols you have to go. You just call.
Yeah.
That's
and
what I do.
It's real. It's we're not tricking you into hosting an exchange student. There's no tricking. We want it to be right. Yeah. See ya. Yeah. Make a sign for your kid and bye-bye. Yeah. And we make these signs for them at the airport.
I was just going to say,
I try to be at, whether it's Orlando, Jacksonville, Daytona, I try to be there, but sometimes they're all coming in together. Right. So I just try to be where I need to be for most of my kids and welcome them. Sometimes I'm there for hours at a time because I want the students to meet face-to-face, the local coordinator. I'm your contact. So,
you know, what's awesome is that none of which we talked about today is salesy, but it's funny. Like what you're selling is an experience, and you're changing someone's life. And I know as well as your life is probably the one changing the most. Like these students' lives are being impacted, but that's part of their foundation, where with the adults, it just should complement where you're already at in life, and it's giving back. It's really powerful.
Building relationships around the world, there's nothing like it. Yeah. And you don't even realize the impact you're making on these kids and the kids' families.
And you never know too. It's awesome. There's this kid in this area, and I swear his father's very appreciative of the relationship that I have with this little Elon Musk. And I say, listen, man, I'm doing this for myself because I need him in my corner. Like he don't need me. I need him, because I'm looking at this kid and I'm going, there's only a matter of time before I'm rickety and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I'm going to need someone going, hey, old man, you got to do it this way. And he's there, and I'm learning from him. So it's funny because he's got it. But that's my point, is like, I'm always using, young or old, everyone has something to teach you. It's really powerful.
Absolutely.
But you are amazing. So we're going to tag, look, Amazon man. Oh, woman. We did it. Anything else? I think we did good. Yeah. Let me see. We're even still alive.
We've got Bahamas coming up, and hoping my kids pack a nice light bag.
Look at you. Good luck.
Look, I'm a mover.
Wow.
I didn't get to dance.
Hey. Thank you.
Love you.
I love you. Let's see. This one.
And I embarrass Olivia when I dance. And I was, in the day, a good dancer.